I'm here, y'all. Just getting a few more things on this back end situated, and I will be with y'all like in 1 minute. Alright? But I'm here. I want to thank y'all for joining Grown Folks Conversation. Give me 1 minute, y'all. What's up, y'all? I'm here. Turn down. There we go. Turn down. There we go. What's up, y'all? Usually this is the time that, a podcaster like me be selling some shit, telling you to go to my website. Not today. Because today, I'm focused on Pasadena and Altadena. I'm sorry. Or as you Dina niggas say, Dina. We're sitting all of our LA politics to the side. You know me, I like talking shit about, I've said it plenty of times, I like talking shit about cats from Dina because it's fun. But in the good old Black American tradition, we set our petty differences, our regional differences to the side when we see our brothers need help and our sisters need help. And so today, we honor that, And so in the description are the donation links of everyone I want you to donate to. Disclaimer, these are direct GoFundMe links. If you want to go and psychoanalyze, I have a disclaimer in the description. You look at the GoFundMe links yourself, okay? You vet them yourself and decide whether or not you want to donate. This is no pressure, but there are lots of organizations out there doing big things, and I salute those organizations that are doing things. But sometimes in a situation like this, people just need cash on hand. Think about it. They done lost clothes. They done lost shoes, socks, like the basic of necessities. They have to start over, and you can't wait on on a government check to come 6 weeks from now to get started. So this is directly to people's GoFundMe. This fire happened in the area of Altadena that, like Black America nationwide is being gentrified. And they actually had some celebrations that was going to go on this year of 100 years of Black folks in Altadena. And so that's what this is about. We're going to have special guests come on. I'm going to have my boy Tay. We all lined up. Tay's going to come on at 11:30. Say his piece. He's a brother from Altadena that I know personally. His grandmother, old school Altadena. He knows a lot of Altadena history. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the Altadena history. He's going to come on at 11:30. Then I have my man Kenji Thomas coming on at 12. Kenji is we met doing comedy, but he's somebody who my first website when I first got my web hotepish.com. He built the first Hotepish website for me, and Breakthrough Cards. It's somebody who came from the streets, opened up a business, supports his wife, and just somebody who was out there the night that it happened. He was out driving around, helping people out, helping people evacuate while the fires are rushing down. So we're going to get his story. He's going to talk. And then at 1:15 or whenever Freez can come in, we're going to have Freez Luv after that. Freez Luv is going to call in. And because, Freez Luv, he's from Altadena. If you know Freez Luv, that's Sacramento Street. So Freez Luv is going to call in, and longtime Dena resident, not native, but resident, Zoe Williams, he's going to call in. Oh, Freez, you here now?
I was just checking it out, make sure it worked.
Now I got you calling in later on, my brother, but this is,
hey,
but it worked.
It does work, you see?
So y'all see Freez now. You can talk now and then. I got somebody calling in about 10 minutes. But, okay. Yeah, just let them know, because Freez going to be calling in about 1:45. But, 1:45. Yep. Yeah, but in the meantime, Freez, again, man, this is your city, bro. If you know Freez Luv, you know Altadena.
Man, I'm in disbelief still. So many of my friends and family is in despair right now, and it's I'm still in disbelief. You can't imagine. I mean, people, you go outside your house right now and then take a look around. That's not guaranteed. How it looks, that is not a guarantee. Man, just prayers. People need prayers. People need prayers and all kind of other stuff, but pray for Altadena, Pasadena, for Palisades, everyone that's affected by this. We're all affected by this, whether we realize or not. We are all affected by this.
Yeah, and we're one. Like I was telling them, Freez, how I'm down in LA. I'm 35 miles from Altadena, but the effect, although my neighborhood is standing, is still a direct effect because we family. Like that 110. The 110 north to the south, that's the underground highway, LA.
Absolutely, man. And, we're talking every house I ever lived in is burnt to the ground at Altadena, and schools. And I have childhood friends, just a lot of loss, man, right now. And it's, but Altadena is strong. People of Altadena are strong people, man. We are pure LA. This is all Los Angeles, Southern California, and we just got an adventure vein in our body. We've been through, even to move to Altadena. When people was moving to Altadena back in the 30s and 40s, it was unheard of to go that far out of the city. People was doing it and setting it up, and been there my whole life, and it's gonna be there. Right now, we just going through it. So prayers. This is, prayers.
Yes, please. Yeah, I appreciate that, Freez. Freez is gonna call back in a little bit. Yeah. I got my but yeah, we're gonna get into all that, man. And then send a link out to everybody let them know Freez Luv gonna come back on. And then we got a whole bunch of GoFundMe's in the description. I need y'all to hit them up.
Yeah, hit it all, man. People need everything, man. Everything. Man. There's somebody that needs something, man, because everything has just been gone, everything that people, man, I'm gonna hit you back, man.
All right. I know you weren't expecting. I put you on the spot and you just checking it out, but yeah, I got you, Freez.
Yeah, I was like, is it working? Is this Army cat? You know me, man. I'm Army cat, man.
Yeah, but sometimes the Skype links be tripping, so it may not click again. But I got my text messages on screen. So I'll just be able to send you another link right away if it's wrong. All right.
Okay, cool, man. Much love, man. And thanks to everyone that's watching and supporting. And man, we appreciate it all. Everybody appreciates it. Altadenians, Pasadenians. We all appreciate it. All right, homie. So yeah, I will be hitting back, man.
All right, Freez.
All right, much love, man. Thanks,
sir. Man. Yeah, that's my man Freez Luv. Yeah, Freez was just checking it out to see if it worked, and I put him on the spot. But he's gonna be joining via link later on. He's gonna be joining a little bit later on. So but let me see here. There we go. There we go. Cool. All right. There we go. Hold on. Let me do something. I'm doing something. Oh man, see this thing be tripping. I'm glad Freeze did that because yeah, this thing be tripping. Cool. There we go. All right, man. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, so this we talking about here. So I want to give y'all a little bit of backstory as to what's going on. Stories from the streets, and salute to Palisades too. Salute to the Palisades. My sister and my brother went to Palisades High. I know people like I don't really know. Like I saw that Jenny Aiko's mansion burned down. I know I went to middle school with her sister in high school, and Janae Aiko, she went to my high school too, but she was younger than us. I don't know her personally, but I know her sister went to middle school and high school with us. So those people I even know that up in the Palace. And we went to Westchester, but I saw that her house burned down in the Palisades. So just because you rich don't mean you don't have a heart, And then it was my boy Derek. I want y'all to see this story. This is a story from this is somebody I've been knowing for a long time. I actually put this GoFundMe link up on my Twitter last week, and I had some sorry ass troll literally repost the link and say it was a fraudulent link because he had a vendetta with me. And nigga, why do he have a vendetta with me? Because I say hip hop is Black American. And that's all it took for this cat to go around saying all kind of weird shit on Twitter because he's so mad that hip hop was Black American. He started spreading lies about my homeboy's GoFundMe. But for those, this is my man Derek. Been known for a long time. I want y'all to see his story here on KK. That was on Eyewitness News. I want y'all to see his story.
Lost their homes in these fires, every one of them with a unique. Thousands of our friends and neighbors in these two communities lost their homes in these fires, every one of them with a unique story to tell, including an 86-year-old Army veteran who lost everything and for whom it is now hard to imagine having to start over.
Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter live in Altadena with more on his story tonight. Leanne?
Michelle and Jory Roosevelt Pullum says he opened the door to find flames in his yard. You can see what is left behind. The 86-year-old says he can't believe that at this age.
No, it wasn't that one. That was a story too, but that's not the story I want to get to. Here, this one right here. This is my boy Derek. And his link is in the description also.
In these tragic fires has their own personal story. They had their own personal struggles even before this fire has now imposed one more on their family. For one man that lost his property in the Eaton fire, this comes just a month after burying his own father.
Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter live in Altadena with more on his story tonight for us. Hi, Leanne.
So many have lost so much in these fires, and I don't want to compare victims to what they all lost, but I have to say, I met a man today who certainly has lost a lot in this blaze. Not only his father and just a month ago, but also his home. The only thing left, one very special honor for his father.
This means everything. This is like, this is his legacy right here.
And the only thing Derek Russell Jr. has left of his father, Derek Russell Sr., after burying him December 6th. Tuesday, the Altadena home he shared with his father burned to the ground.
I didn't even go through his stuff yet because I wasn't ready. I was just trying to learn how to grieve for myself for that.
The fire devoured every unit, the Mariposa townhomes. Russell could see the wind-fueled fire on the hill when he left, but never thought it would reach all the way to his home.
We thought we were going to be okay. I thought we were going to be okay. I said, I'm going to grab a few things. I'll be back in the morning. I literally grabbed 2 sweats, 4 socks, and my dad's flag. Like, this was the last thing I grabbed.
His dad was a police officer with the LAUSD, LA Housing Authority, and Pasadena Unified School District, as well as an Army veteran. A dedicated father and grandfather, his legacy was serving others. For Russell, who was recently sober, his father's death was a devastating loss. He never imagined it could get worse.
It's trying to get me to have that drink. It's really, I'm like, man, how much can one guy take in such a short period of time? People tell me to be strong. It's like, how much stronger do I have to be? You know, I'll come back bigger and stronger.
Look at that destruction.
Come back bigger and stronger. The entire community, it's going to take a lot of time, but it'll happen.
It certainly will take some time. Russell says that he is very grateful for all the help he's receiving from family and friends. They have set up a GoFundMe account for him. You can find it on our website, abc7.com. He says he's continuing his father's legacy of community service by giving back to those who have also lost so much in this fire.
Hey.
Now here's an incredible story.
That's my man Derek. And let me see here. We want all donations to go to these GoFundMes. I appreciate the super chats, but we y'all really want to hit these GoFundMes. It says pay inmates. Let me say they already pay inmates to put out the fires. Inmates are about 40% of the people fighting fires right now. You know, you cannot eliminate fires. I appreciate the super chat, but there's no way to eliminate fires. Like that was this forest burning is part of the natural cycle of life, okay? A forest burning is a part of the natural cycle of life. And you know, as long as we have forests, we're going to have forest fires. And this is super dry, windy conditions. Let me go back to the link to a burn, okay? Remember, just clearing things up, because somebody said in the chat earlier that on the East Coast, you guys aren't getting, news on Altadena. Look at this. So this is the fire area right here, right? And this is the area that got burned. You see the mountain. This is where the fire started over here. Eden Canyon, right here. That's why it's called the Eden Fire, because it started way over here at Eden Canyon. The winds were blowing 70, 80, 100 miles an hour. And to show you how Santa Ana winds work, when you back things up, the Santa Ana winds come from the east. You see, this is desert. And the Mojave Desert is the driest, hottest desert on the planet on record. The highest temperature ever recorded in human history came right here from the Mojave Desert. And that hot, dry wind comes in fast. And it comes over these mountains. And it comes in a east to west direction. When in general, California winds come, of course, west to east. Most of the time, the wind is coming from the water. So you don't have to worry about fires because there's moisture, humidity within the wind coming from the west. But when it comes to the east and you've gone 9 months without significant rain in a forest, our last significant rain was in March. So it swept in, and 90-mile-an-hour winds, the hardest hit area was right over here between Lincoln and Lake. And this is the black side of Altadena. So that wind came, and it was a windstorm. And that windstorm burned lots of embers. And lots of embers came in and sat on these roofs. Is it a conspiracy? I don't fucking know. But niggas lost their homes. What we gonna do about it? That's my only concern. Like I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm not about to sit here and talk about what Harp did or what could have been done. Because we will talk about some things the governor could have done. We will talk about that. But I'm not about to come and talk about Harp or was it a planned or was it a laser? The only thing we here for now is to show love and to put some money in the links in the descriptions because these people need help. So this whole neighborhood you see right here basically got burnt down. House for house, business for business. House for house, business for business. I know someone that lived in this campus right here. One of my friends, Chris, actually lived. This whole thing got burned down. One of the oldest lots, and it's a white guy I know, but he's been living here for a long time. Chris Pack. I think his stuff is in the description. He helps me out with my metaverse world. His shit burned. He was right here. All this shit gone. All of it. So that's what we're dealing with. So now we are in a time where, let's go to the fire map. Just talking about, this is the fire. And this is what is burned. Mind you, this fire is still going on too, right? Still going on. And today we're having crazy winds that could actually ignite this fire even more. But you see where the fire started, and you see here where it's burned already. Where you see the darker right here, that's what's already burned. And so think of this, all of this right here, this whole area is where black people own and live. And that's why the national news isn't talking about it. All this is gone. All of it. So you see the severity of this. So yeah, that's what we're here for. Let me turn some music on. Let me turn some music on. Let me see. But no matter what happens, people are still living. Niggas are still living. So no matter what happens, your house is burned. Stuff ain't right.
What up, bro?
But cats are still living. So take the wins where we can take them. What's up? I got my man Tay on the line right now. He's a longtime Altadena resident, born and raised. I'm about to switch over to him right now. No, here we go.
Hey.
What up, bro?
What's good with it?
Man, thanks for coming on. For those of you who don't know, this is my man Tay. He's the reason why I'm having this show to tell you the truth. The homegirl, like Jay, that hit me up and was like, "You want to do a fundraiser?" I was like, "I'm not really feeling that right now. I don't really want to do it." But then I saw Tay later on that same day. And he was just telling me like how long he been in Altadena. This dude was still working. Well, all the shit burned down. This brother was still working. So when you were telling me about, you know, the history of Altadena and how you were there, you was helping people, you know, when all the stuff was going down, that's what gave me the idea to do this. And that's why I want you to be the first one on. So, can you introduce yourself to the people and let them know where where you come from, and then let's get into talking about what you were talking about. As far as the history, what you saw the day it was. But let them know who you are first.
What's cracking, y'all? My name's Tay. People know me as Tay 3 from Altadena. Um, Man, cuz this is just crazy. It's I seen it firsthand the night of all the way through. Still been out there every day, ever since. A couple of my peoples and all that stuff. We done had some lost, people that are lost right now to other than property and all that stuff. Some lives have been lost and everything. So it's
Yeah,
like it's a serious thing. I was right in the fire after I picked up my baby from school. So it's from ground zero, from when it started all the way to now.
yeah, I remember, man. I remember when the day it happened. I remember you just, whenever we talk, you just really responsive, and I was just like, man, checking to see if you good. You know what I mean? And you was in the middle of sin. Talk to us about what you saw. You picked your baby up. You get back to Dina. What did you see?
I forgot to sing some of them, man. I got clips and all that, but look. So I'm picking my baby up from Loma Alta. Uh, uh, this school I went to too, actually, when I was younger. So Altadena, it's a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? We go back generations and generations of family and all that stuff. So my daughter ended up going to the same school I was at. So that means a lot. But after I picked her up around 6, after her after school program, we driving. She wanted some Jamba Juice or whatnot. I'm like, all right, baby, we driving. And I start smelling the smoke. I start smelling smoke. I'm like, I smell smoke. Where am I tripping? Some fire smoke. Am I tripping? So we going down, and then I look. It was right there. Because at first I couldn't see it, but once it got closer, I'm like, damn, it's right there. I was there before the fire trucks, before the sheriffs, all that stuff, and I got
Yeah,
footage. I'm gonna send that stuff to you.
yeah,
So at that time, we get fired. You get fires here and there, but at that time, I wasn't thinking too much of it. We weren't expecting this. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Get our Jamba Juice to go. Go to my new crib and all that stuff. Next thing you know, this is how fast everything happened. So I was only 25, 30 minutes away. So I get in. Next thing you know, I get a phone call from my cousin. Mind you, this is when the winds was blowing as well. The strong winds, so things getting knocked down and everything. So my cousin called me talking about she down like by Colorado and all that stuff. So it's already traveling. The smoke is already getting heavy.
yeah,
So my cousin called me. She has a medical issue, health issues with her lungs and all that stuff, but she forgot her oxygen tank, or whatever, at her job or whatnot. But she called me and she told me she can't breathe, all that stuff, and the winds had knocked one of the trees down, so she couldn't get the car out the garage. She couldn't leave. So I said, "All right, forget all that." So me and my baby, we couldn't even sit down to enjoy our night. So I said, "Baby, put your shoes back on. We got to help your cousin." So I go back out, and over there on if anybody know the area, you can just look on the map. So, my grandma stay on my old street, out the Pine Drive. That's the street I grew up off
I'm putting
of.
it up on the map right now. You said Altapine Drive.
Yeah, out the Pine Drive over there on Loma Alta and out the Pine Drive. Because there are two out the Pine Drives. Ours is on Loma Alta and out the Pine Drive, right around the corner from the school. So that's So I'm gonna show you how everything tie in. So, like I said, I'm thinking it's still over there, the Eden Canyon area and all that stuff. Everybody be hiking that. So I can't have my baby in that type of smoke, type of air because of her condition and all that stuff. So I hit up my people. It's like, hey, grandma, you there? My sister, everybody over there. So I'm like, all right, cool. Drop her off over there. It hasn't reached over there yet, but I'm showing you how fast all the stick went. So drop her off, go down to my cousin. Couldn't move the tree out the way, all the way. So I just told her ride with me, get her oxygen mask and all that, her oxygen tank and all that stuff. Come back. By the time I come back, my sister already hitting me like, "Hey, we evacuating." In my head, I'm like, "Shit! Like, wait a minute! I just like, wait a minute! I just dropped my baby off." Like, she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna be in Torrance." I'm like, "All right, bet." So then I go to Torrance, pick my baby up. I'm getting phone calls. I'm like, hold on. Okay, so I just dropped my baby off in Palmdale, stay with her mom because she can't be down and all this stuff. I come back down, Silmar burning, everything's burning, and all that stuff. But when I get back to Dena, everything's already ablaze.
Man.
This how fast everything going. That's how fast everything going. And especially by the next day, everything was gone. Everything is gone. Like 95% of Altadena is gone. Like it's just crazy. That street out to Pine Drive is where I originally my grandparents took me in. I grew up with my grandparents, and it's a tight knit street. It's a family street.
It's a cul-de-sac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the image of it up right now.
Yeah. All about the Altadena, we all connected. We all tied in.
Yes, the hell y'all are.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, so that whole street, yeah, all family and all that stuff. So once I seen that, it hit, it hit because my grandma's house is gone. The house I grew up in is gone. And Ron Nickerson, that's my aunt. He lived right next door to me growing up. He passed. I seen his remains. My auntie hit me and all that stuff. So like it's family, it's a family thing, and it's
man. You there? I think we lost Tay for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Everybody, people calling me now. I had to get off the phone.
Okay. Yeah, I'm showing you. So your uncle was Nickerson. He was the one. He's the grandson of the man that created the Nickerson Gardens projects, right?
Yeah. That's what it's named after. My peoples. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are your people. I'm putting them up right now. Because Rodney Nickerson. There we go. His family, they were right there for the famed Nickerson Gardens in South Central LA. And they said they found him in bed.
Yeah, he was in the bed. I seen it. Yeah, he was in the bed.
Oh, you saw him?
Yeah, I saw him. It's just, not to be too graphic, but it looked like a live cremation on number bones and ashes. Rest in peace. But I'm gonna just be real. You know me. I don't fake the funk for nothing. But
yeah,
it is. So.
And it's such a beautiful neighborhood. Growing up on a block like this, you can see how being on a cul-de-sac, and then these are the good, nicely built homes of the 40s and the 30s when they really built those homes hella solid. Y'all don't survive earthquakes, all kind of stuff up there,
and all type of stuff. And yeah, people don't know. Like people don't know. People are just now knowing and just now learning. Like Altadena, that's one of the first areas in LA that gave us actual chance of owning our own and holding our own. So a lot of these homes and houses are handed down from great grandparents, and all that stuff, and that's why we so tight knit with each other.
Yeah, man.
My grandpa came from Compton, and bought the house up there in Altadena.
And it's crazy too because, and now I always said about how tight y'all out there because me being from South Central, anytime I would be up there because I know a lot of people from Pasadena and Altadena. Every time when I would go around their friends, the first thing they ask, "Hey man, you from Dena?" I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm from South Central. Like, but that's like a thing. He's always tripped me out because it was that's the one area people from Inglewood don't necessarily say that. Even people from Compton don't even necessarily say that. But the Dena area, y'all are so tight knit. It's like anybody that you don't recognize, it be like, "Hey, you from Dena?" Or it don't even be in a threatening way. You may know a nigga for 2-3 months just kicking it, and then at some point he gonna ask, "So you was in Dena?" Like, nah, nigga.
Hey, you know what's crazy though? At my new crib, right? I ain't gonna lie though. Just what? Just last night. This is how crazy it is when you from Dina and stuff. We was talking about it in the parking garage, right? We like, man, this fire is crazy. Yada. And then I was like, yeah, man, I've been in it. I'm finna go back out and help and all that stuff. He said, what area? I'm like, Dina. I said, I'm from Altadena though. He like, for real, nigga, I'm from Dina. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I live in Gardena, and we don't even say that Dena. We like, shit, we in Dena too. We ain't included.
Right. You know, shit, y'all Dina, but we Dina.
It's that one. It's that right. It's that 110 North, man.
Yeah, I'm from the Alta. I'm from the A. Feel me? For the A. Oh my A's, yeah.
Yeah.
But we tight knit. You know what I'm saying? We tight knit, not just Altadena, but we tight knit with the whole, all of LA.
All
Anybody that
LA,
know,
yeah.
anybody know, no. I'm not finna get into politics. It's not important, but if anybody know. You know what I'm saying? So this is a real thing that's going on right now, though, man. It's crazy. Oh yeah, shout out to my boys out here. Condolences. We lost a lot of people. I mean, this not everybody's found or accounted for just yet, but when like I said, my aunt, he passed, rest in peace. And then we a homie that lost somebody, rest in peace, condolences. Like it's messed up, especially people being lost in this manner, this type of way, and everybody, having lost loved ones in all one swoop, just everything. We lost property, everything. Some people just started over. Some people just bought their houses. Some people just, been living in there for like 3-4 generations, and everything is gone in less than 48 hours. 48 hours tops.
Man. Talk just if it there's really no way. There's no way you can quantify it. But talk to us just about just, I know you've been going through there now helping out. Talk to us about the relief efforts and just having to go and move things and help things from buildings that are no longer in front of buildings that are like no longer there. Like, what's that like?
Oh man! All right, so like I said, since being there and all that stuff, it's not I can't say it's an easy task. It is, but it's not. For me personally, how I feel, shit, it's like I don't know. It's just hard to gather words right now, but right now they've been blocking us off from the actual, Altadena, because how it is. But the spots that we are able to go to, it's been like a lot of different places, where you can pick up things and help and drop off and all that stuff. So that's all I've been doing since I couldn't go back up in there. Matter of fact, the day, I'll say maybe 2 days after the fire, once it started coming down a little bit, I think after 2 days or so, if I'm not mistaken, everything is running together.
Yeah. You ain't hardly slept.
No, I've been up.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
so I'm trying to give y'all like an actual like timestamp, but everything to me has been running together. So it's sort of hard for me to do that. But I can say when they started barricading and not letting us go through because the gas lines was still on through the city. And so you still got fires and shit still, going. As a matter of fact, while I was in the trenches, I was hearing explosions through the city. At first, in my mind, when you're going through all that stuff, you're not knowing the fuck going on. You hearing explosions and shit. I'm like, nigga, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It was like 4 or 5 explosions I heard personally while I was in there. So I'm like, what the hell? So but whatever that day, well, I think it was the second or third day. I forgot. But anyway, they were only letting the gas company people go up in there to turn off the gases and all that stuff. And that's the same day they wasn't letting me in. And that's the same day I realized my grandmother was at was in her house over there on Fig and Kenyatta and all that stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, they ain't got no power. The gas is getting shut off. I like, oh fuck that. So what I had to do was, I don't know if I get in trouble. Well, I've been in trouble. Fuck it. So excuse my language.
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
I had went over on that side, tried a little back streets. They ended up finding the map and blocking off every little thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just have to foot it. It wouldn't let me foot it. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Forget that. I told him like, hey man, I got my grandmother in there. She's blind, 85 years old. Trying to get her out. They directed me to another unit that said, all right, ask them if they'll let you in or escort you, whatnot. I went up to them. They're like, oh, we're not letting nobody in. I'm like, all this talking. I'm like, man, look, I gotta talk to them. So I went back to the people that they told me to go to. I said, hey, I just talked to you. They told me to come back to talk to you. I need to go in and get my grandmother. So they said, oh, well, we're not letting nobody in right now. But she could come out. But I'm like, man, she's 85. Like, she's blind. She don't know what she's doing. So, I got a little upset, but that don't help the situation. I'm a calm-headed person, but I was upset. Blah blah. So I said, what can I do though? Y'all could escort me? I ain't no looter. Here's my ID. I still got an Altadena ID. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she said, oh, well, just call the fire department. They'll escort her out. I said, this is some bullshit. Like, nigga, the firefighter handling others. So, all right, you know what? Y'all got me messed up. So I parked the car around the corner. Right. So I parked the car. I hop out. I switched my shirt. So I could look a little different. I switched my shirt and I walked across the street. And I was walking up. They got distracted by someone else, and I slipped past their asses, and I ran down the street. Ran down the street. Handled that. Went down, all that smoke and shit. But anyway, ran down the street, and good thing that my grandma's service was still good on her phone. I hit up my dad and all that stuff. So then our neighbor, which is family oriented, also our neighbor over there, he was still in. There's a lot. We got a lot out to fry. Like a lot of people like, man, I ain't going. Right.
Yeah.
So he was one of them, but he happened to be there, help my grandma out. And so instead of walking out that far distance to get back out, he gave us a ride. Shout out to Butch, good looking. Gave us a ride back to the corner, and we hopped out, got her in my car, then we took it to my dad's house and all that. But yeah, the barricades, it was like, man, y'all.
They almost had your grandmama trapped up in there.
Yeah, no power, no nothing, no like nah, F all that. So
man. And then tell me that story. The other story you told me about. You say you saw your homeboy just walking, and you picked him up.
Oh no, yeah. So at first he wasn't answering the phone while I was hitting him. I'm trying to think of people I can call, but then at the same time, a lot of areas you couldn't even use the phone anyway. But when I was able to use the phone in one of the areas, he didn't answer at first. I'm like, man, I'm finna skate through. and check his area. And sure enough, his area was burnt down, all that stuff. I'm like, ah, dang. But later on, I seen him walk, but he looked disorientated. I seen him walking later on. I seen him walking. Um, Caught him walking. I pulled right up on him. Shout out to my nigga. Shout out to my nigga Chris. He was just looking like, oh, I was like, man, I'm like, get in the car. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was until later. But yeah, I found him. I'm like, all right, well, took care of what we needed to take care of. And it's sad because all he had was the clothes on his back. So yeah, we went to Target. Got his essentials, some more sock drawers and all that stuff. But the reality of this is like, imagine you only having nothing but the clothes on your back, not even a backup spot to go to, and all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of people out here that's like that right now. All the help that we've been doing, yeah, there's a lot of clothes that's been getting donated and this, that, and whatever. And this is all that, that a lot of us have. Is just what y'all give in and just what y'all pitch in, and that's it.
I have your GoFundMe pinned at the top of the chat right now. Tell them about what you guys are doing with yours.
All right, so with my GoFundMe, actually my mom had made it. She made it during the midst of all this stuff. So the goal is, this isn't an individual GoFundMe. This isn't for me. This isn't, for my mom. This isn't just for my grandma that lost the house and none of that stuff. This is actually what we're trying to do is get as much as we can. I haven't never made a GoFundMe, but from what I'm understanding, you can only do up to 100,000, right? Mm-hmm. So we went up to the max. We're asking for, get up to the max so we could disperse that to as many people as possible. Like I said, some people ain't got nothing but the donations and the clothes on their back. So we're trying to. So this isn't an individual GoFundMe. This is for everybody, as much as we could give out to. That's just basically what it is. So we're trying to disperse it to as many people as possible.
Yeah, and that's why I thought about doing this for you, because I remember, for those of you when he and I talked, this is the day after the fire started. He's already like taking people to get clothes, helping them out. I'm like, dude, you doing this already on your own dime? I was like, you ain't got to GoFundMe? And he was like, we setting one up. It wasn't set up, but before the GoFundMe was even set up, Tay was out there and on the front lines helping people out and doing so. So I was like, man, whenever you get a GoFundMe, let me know, and we're going to put it up there, because, we are, the way y'all already helping people out, the least we can all do is chip in. So if you only got $2, $5, I know everybody got at least 10. Spread it around all the GoFundMes that we have, but because we have a lot that are listed. Taze is right now in the description right now at the top pinned. Let me make sure, let me put it up on screen so people know which one is yours. There we go. I'm gonna put it up on screen. Okay. This is it. All right, we have eight donations so far. We want to make sure that we get that up, and
it's a real GoFundMe. I know my mom had did the little voice thing on it or whatnot. Yeah. But no, this one's real. It's not no nonsense. No BS. I know everybody on their toes, but no, this is real, and this is for everybody. This is for, not, like I said, not just for me or my grandma, none of that. It's for everybody as much as we can help out, so that's what this one's for. And we're gonna disperse that, evenly to as many people, that we can.
Yes, sir, man. I want to thank you again for tuning in, man, and letting us know what's going on, brother.
I thank you for having me, bro. Sure.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man. We'll talk soon.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see here. That was Tay. Let me see here. There we go. All right, yeah, that was Tay. So as y'all see, man, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and it's a lot of people coming together that are helping. It's a lot of people who are helping, and you donate to whatever you feel is the best place to donate to. I'm not telling y'all where to donate. I'm not telling you to donate. The people receiving the funds, they're gonna do this. I like GoFundMe because the money starts getting pushed out to people immediately, and this is helping people for now. Yes, they're still gonna get the government's help, and yes, there are organizations, and I salute all of the organizations out there doing it. But everybody got to do their part, I've always been the kind of person that believes in, along with helping organizations, but also helping people directly as best we can. Hold on. Got some shit going on down here. Anyway, I'm going to have some more. I'm about to have my man Kenji call up in a second. Let me see. There we go. I'm gonna have him call up. But in the meantime, like you said, like we were talking about, like look how close this is. When we talk about Pasadena, the great Jackie Robinson. For those of you, it's a lot of people talking about something, they don't understand the culture out here on the West Coast. This is not too far from Jackie Robinson's childhood home. What we're talking about? We're talking about an old school historic black district. When we're talking about Pasadena, Altadena, when we're talking about people, it's not. That's an area of LA that you don't hear about on the news. I see you, brother. That's an area of LA that you're not gonna hear on all the movies talking about this part and that part. Nah, you know why you're not gonna hear too much about what goes on in Altadena and Pasadena? Is because of the level that these cats really do look out for each other. Do street shit happen? Yeah, that's part of life. Street shit happens in Beverly Hills. You dig what I'm saying? Happens all over. But that doesn't define a group of people. That does not define the society. It's the people during times of this. And the next person I have coming up is somebody who's lived a life of always giving back ever since I've known him. And then even the nights of the fire, he was my news source because I'm literally looking at his Facebook and seeing the fires happening as it's happening and what they ain't telling you on the news. So for all you guys on the East Coast and around the country, is bigger than what you're seeing. And I'm making sure to bring people on that are there because me personally, I wasn't out there, but I want to talk to those who were. And next up, I got my man Kenji Thomas. What's up, Kenji?
What's going on with you, man? Appreciate you for doing this, man. For real.
Man, for sure, man. We got to do what we can do. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, this shit is crazy.
I saw you out there, man, and that the night of, you over here got a video showing, I was just at this gas station. Now the gas station is gone. It was, and I'm going to play some of the video while you're talking. Talk to us about, first off, just talk to us about, growing up in Pasadena and what you saw.
For me, it's a little bit crazy, man, because, I'm a transplant baby, because, I moved out to Altadena when I was 14. My family comes from South Central, Compton, people down south, back east. I lived out in Lancaster when that was first getting developed. So my mom remarried, and we actually moved to the east side of Altadena. And a lot of people don't know this, and this is what they're not telling you on the news. For Altadena people, the city is divided into two halves, right? East and west. East is where most of your $1 million homes are. That's the real nice area. And then the west side is honestly, man, it's parts that look like, Compton and Watts over there. So when my mom remarried, we moved to the nice side. I remember going outside and going, damn, it ain't no black people over here at all, man. And the first school bus came by, and it was none but niggas on there. I figured out that everybody was on the west side. So that's where I went, to the tune of me getting kicked out the house. And I ended up living in house to house over, in Altadena, man, at a very early age. But I wanted to show a lot of the west side because it seemed like the news initially, when it first started, the only thing they were showing was all the big homes on the east side, all the $1 million homes.
and the west side was pretty much being burned to the ground around us, you know. So I said, man, we going through there, man. Said they had it blocked and said we couldn't go through there, man. We jumped up on the curbs and everything, drove to get up there, man. And the biggest place that I grew up, man, Fair Oaks and Harriet. If you see right now in my house, I got a street sign from Harriet right there. Fair Oaks and Harriet is in the heart of Altadena's west side, man. And I got over there and I just couldn't believe it, man. Like it was like a fucking bomb went off, dog. Like everything was gone. Everything. I mean, every house, like my man Freez said earlier, it was like every childhood house I knew, every friend's house I knew was gone. It was weird being able to, the weird thing is, even though it was pitch black, because the lights was out, the fire had the city lit up. And you could stand in the middle of the street and look around and you could see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 streets down. You know what I mean? Like no houses, no nothing. It was just, it was crazy, man. It was nuts.
I'm playing your footage right now from Facebook from a couple of nights ago when you was I'm playing that as you're speaking. Yeah, it was nuts, man. So you see that. So talk to us. You know, let's talk a little bit about just, you know, you moved to Altadena and you was accepted right away by the people. Would you say that,
man? Man, that's the craziest part, man. So I'm 43 now. I moved to Altadena when I was 14. And shout out to my nigga Tay too, man. He from the turf too, man. That's a real Altadena native right there. I got embraced immediately, man. Almost a little too immediately. To keep it real with you, man. You know, for anybody that knows, I mean, yeah, like any other city, we got our street problems, right? I didn't know nothing about no, you know, blood and cripping out in Altadena, Pasadena, but everybody I went to school with lived north of Woodbury, which is the dividing line between Altadena and Pasadena. And my second week out here, I got jumped. My second week out here, just because I live north of Woodbury. You know what I'm saying? And Altadena, everybody,
knowing you probably deserved it. But go ahead.
I did. I had it coming. No, I was mouthing off for real. But everybody in Altadena, man, embraced me, man. And people don't understand. It's different. Like I said, man, there's parts of Altadena that look like Compton and Watts, but you can take a hike into the mountains, literally 2 miles behind your house, and it's a natural waterfall. You know what I'm saying? I done see niggas with 9mm on their hips hiking to go check out a waterfall. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about completely blued up from head to foot, chucks and everything, hopping over rocks to go check out a waterfall, man. It's a different way of life, but it is a close-knit community. And the one thing that I really want to shout out, man, is the togetherness that happened almost instantly when this happened. And I mean, even with Pasadena, man, like to see the city come together as fast as they did, it was crazy. It's not surprising, man, because like my man Freez said, we different out here, man. We a little different. You got a lot of people out here that have come from LA. They lived through the riots of Watts, the Rodney King riots. You know, a lot of people don't know Rodney King lived out here in Altadena.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Rodney King was from. Yep.
Rodney King lived out here in Altadena. You know what I mean? So it's like the togetherness, man. Like we've seen a lot. We might not have seen it to this scale, but we've already seen a lot, man. And we was raised tough. But the togetherness, man, that I've seen with my city, man, has been beautiful, to be perfectly honest with you, man.
You're right, because the Rodney King incident shows the togetherness between LA and the two Denas, because in LA didn't sit around and say, oh man, that was a Pasadena nigga that got beat. No, that was a black man from South Central that got beat by the same LAPD that beat me down here. It wasn't because y'all 35 miles north of us. We didn't see that as, oh, that was way up there, man. We ain't worried about that. Nah, hell nah, nigga. What happens up there happens down here. And although they said cats may fight, cats may had a little shit talking, you know, we gonna talk a little game, run our mouth and everything like that. But and as people see what they've been seeing it with the recent rap battles and stuff, how no matter how divided LA can look, one incident, boom. This is what we do.
Here's the thing, we family, man. So we can fight amongst ourselves. We don't let outsiders get in the business, man. That's what it is. And as soon as outsiders get it misconstrued or twisted, you're gonna have to deal with all of us.
Right.
Because we're real quick to put our problems to the side and unify for the right reason. And that's why I be trying to tell motherfuckers is don't give us the right reason. Because you're not gonna like the outcome. And that's real talk. And that's from LA all the way up to the end of the 110 and the 210. Yeah, man, we fight amongst ourselves. That's what family gonna do. You know what I mean? But we don't allow outsiders to really get down like that, man. For real.
Outsiders cannot get down like that. And you know what I mean? That's what we're talking about here. So talk to us more about, you were out there when it happened. In the fire, before a news truck got there. News is still in Palisades. I'm over here talking shit about Palisades on Facebook. You think I'm talking about you. News ain't even talking about y'all. We don't even know what the hell going on out there outside of what I'm seeing on Facebook from people like you, my man Snaps, Tay. You know, he had came out. But if it weren't for y'all, even here in South Central, we wouldn't have known if it weren't for your Facebooks and Instagrams. So talk to us about that.
It was like a nightmare you couldn't wake up from, man. I mean, once you got started getting above like Washington, which runs east and west, it was crazy. And it felt like a war zone because you could hear transformers popping. Like every few seconds, you would hear a transformer explode. You know, and it's no lights. Everything is just smoke and embers everywhere, man. And it's crazy because as long as I've lived here, I actually got lost a couple times because I couldn't recognize anything. I'm not paying attention to street signs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm driving through just trying to get to where my people's is at to see if I can help somebody out. And I'm getting lost because I don't even recognize where I'm at, man. I mean, fires on both sides of you, you know, and the only thing I saw out there was natives. I didn't see no fire trucks. I didn't see no police trucks. I didn't see none of that shit. The only thing I saw was the people that lived there, you know. And I saw people, you know, carrying people out the house. I saw for the few of us that had water, you know, people trying to spray, you know, the neighbors' houses. You know, I saw people whose houses was already burned down, trying to keep their neighbor's house from burning down.
Wow.
You know, until either the water ran out or got cut off. That's a different conversation for a different day. But I saw people out there, man, with, you know, with towels and everything around their mouth, just trying to keep their neighbor's house from burning down. That's a chapter of our childhood, man. When you see Altadena, like I said, man, anybody look up Fair Oaks and Harriet, it looked like some shit that's in South Central. It looked like some shit that's in Watts. This is all we knew. We had the candy store on the corner. We had, you know, Sundry's Burger, where it was a family-owned burger spot where Ernie used to go up there and flip burgers with no gloves on, with shit under his fingernails, and it was the best motherfucking hamburger you ever had in your life, man. You know, the car wash, you know, Johnny Drons, like we had. It was a tight-knit community. I need to stop saying was. It is a tight-knit community, but everything we knew from our childhoods is gone. And I don't think people can fully understand the magnitude of that. When you can go stand on a spot you stood on thousands of times and not recognize anything that your eyes are seeing. It's devastating, man. It really is. It's fucking heartbreaking. And I know we're going to bounce back. I will say this, not on the political shit, man. I know them real estate developers is going in there. If there's any Altadena natives listening, do not sell right now. Let them pay what they owe, man. They was already trying to gentrify the area before this fire started. And now they moving right in. Please, man, I know this shit is rough and the today money seems like the best money. If y'all can wait it out, do, man. We cannot lose a hold of that city. It was such an intricate part of so many childhoods. And another thing that I say about Altadena, and like I said, I've lived everywhere. The amount of young black business owners, young brown business owners that are in the Altadena area is astonishing. I'm a business owner myself, and I know so many individuals that own their own businesses from Altadena. So like the ratio of black business owners in Altadena, it's insane, man. We got to maintain that stronghold. We cannot give that up, man. I can't stress that enough.
It's crazy you say that because like all of my business, like out of my relationship to Pasadena / Altadena has always been business, been money. Like, and that's how I ended up getting friends out that way. The first house that I bought, it was a black-owned mortgage company that I worked with that got it from Pasadena. From my job that I worked, when I worked with the kids, they were based in Pasadena. You know, when I worked at the bank, we was in Altadena. It's like my first radio gig was on Green Street in Pat. It's like when we like some of the episodes for Craig Facts that we did was in Pasadena.
Yeah.
It's like no matter how, I can't go too long as a black person in LA. You can't go too long without having to connect with one of the or both of the Denas. If you're gonna be in business with radio, mortgage, the different field, working with kids, like no matter what field I ended up in, I would end up in Pasadena, Altadena area because of the strong business hold.
Yeah. It's a lot of money that run through this area, man. Like it really is, man. Whether that's legal or illegal, man. The thing about Dana, man, out there in Pasadena, we go get it and come back with it. We're not sitting around waiting for nobody to put nothing in our hands. We gonna go get it and come back with it for sure.
Right. One my goodness, what's this? I'm getting some kind of a ding right here. I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know. The notifications is going off, man.
Cause I ain't got no. I don't know what the hell that is. Cause I ain't got no notifications on my phone. But what I have going on is here we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, man. So that was let me see. I was gonna ask you one more thing. Oh yeah, going back to this. What I have on video. I was playing this video right here. Of you. Talk to us about this video that you have right here. This is the video of you walking through on the night of.
Oh man, that's right off Highview and Harriet.
Okay.
So that is a neighborhood that, man, leads right there. My homeboy Kool-Aid, the big homie Talon, rest in peace. My homeboy Wood, my homeboy Cam. Everybody lived. That's the street that I really grew up on and spent most of my time. That was like our Crenshaw. Harriet was like our own little mini Crenshaw. Highview and Harriet was the street that I was standing on. I mean, we used to be out there, 10, 15 cars deep, 30, 40 kids out there playing around, playing basketball till 3 in the morning. And as we got older, smoking in clubs and take the girls in the car. That was our little spot. And I drove up there because my homeboy mom still live there, and I got a bunch of family friends that still live there, and I wanted to just go see if I could help somebody else out. And I bent the block, man, and the whole street was gone. The whole street was gone. I mean, not one house. The whole street, not one house made it. And that was in the moment. I mean, that is as the night is going on, and even in that moment, I'm surrounded by flames and everything. And even then, Dwan, I could not imagine and did not realize the extent of what had happened. Even though I was standing in that spot in that video, I still hadn't registered with me what exactly had taken place until the next day. And I was able to go up there when the sun came up, man. And I was like, that Highview was this much of what actually took place, man.
Damn, man. See, and you talking about you hit home when you said Crenshaw. I done live 90% of my life within a block or a mile or two of Crenshaw. And I couldn't imagine, anything happening in Crenshaw like that. I mean, I done lived up and down Crenshaw, So to see, you just made it kind of hit home right there. I remember seeing Crenshaw after the LA riots,
right?
And all the stores that I was used to going to, everything that I knew burned down. But after the riots, we still had our homes to go back to. What I mean? Nobody's house was taken. It was the places we was used to visiting. It was the stores we was used to going to. It was a lot of things, but we were still able. And I remember how heartbreaking it was because in the LA riots, my whole neighborhood burned down. La Brea burned down. The stuff on Crenshaw burned down. Everywhere I was used to going, from my house to my parents' house, to my grandparents' house. Going up and down King, everything that I saw was burnt and gone. And to this day, I still got memories. You know what I mean? Right. But you guys lost your homes. That's a whole
that's really level. That's really, Dwan, I guess you just hit it right on the head right now. For those of you that got family, you may not even live in the town you grew up in, but maybe Big Mama house, maybe your grandmama house is still in the family, right? Maybe your auntie house that y'all used to spend Christmases at is still in the family, right? Imagine not being able to go back home, no matter where you are in the world. It's a certain point in that year where you was gonna go back home. That's gone. It ain't no going back home right now. Home is gone. That house that you grew up in, playing in the front room in, everybody got whoopings in, all your cousins stayed in, Christmases, Thanksgivings, birthdays, those childhood memories that you had, you will never see it again. That's hard to swallow, man.
That's hard as fuck to swallow, man. Like, that's why I'm here. For those of you who don't know, a lot of the GoFundMe's were links that Kenji sent me. And again, like I told y'all before, make sure that you click on the links. I'm not telling you what to click on. I'm not making you do anything. Hey, doggy. I'm not, but what we are doing, this is for those who have an open heart. I don't want to hear none of that. Well, where the money gonna go? What this person gonna do with it? If that's your mindset, let me tell you right now, fuck you. We don't want your money.
Click off, cuz, for real.
Get the fuck out of here if you got that kind of mindset of where the money gonna go, what they gonna do with it. If they want to get this money, buy some socks to wipe their ass with it. The whole point is, we all know they're not gonna do that, but the whole point is, I ain't the one to police people when I give you something. When we give you something, you gonna do it what you need to get done. These people's fucking lives got turned upside down. So we ain't here for none of that bullshit. And if you own that shit, my moderator's gonna ban you from the chat room, and we're gonna tell you fuck you on the way out. Go ahead, Kenji. I know that was I kind of stopped.
Nah, I'm cool with that. I got my nigga Tay right there. What's happening with you three?
I ain't know you. See, you data niggas know everybody. I didn't know you knew Tay.
Nigga, the city only this big, man. What you talking shit? All right, what's happening with you, man?
I want to do a shout out though for the homies that's been helping. Hey, you already know you're a soldier. Big man, hey, he helped houses. He was up there. He came.
This is Tay talking again, y'all.
Go ahead. He came back and watered down houses and stuff and saved houses, including his own. You feel me? My homie Major, shout out for coming out helping. Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying, helping. My cousin Jackie Long been out there helping, giving and all that stuff. But to all the homies that even stayed behind and been watering the houses and all that stuff and saving and all that stuff, we really out here though. You know what I'm saying?
These are images I'm putting up on screen right now. These are images that were sent to me by Tay that he took with his own phone. So you go ahead and keep talking, Tay. But I'm putting up the images that you sent me.
I'll send you the video clips because I was in there. Oh man, that shit was like a war though. It was broad daylight. Some streets were so pitch black. It's like you couldn't even see through them. We driving past the power lines falling, all that stuff. Man, it's just crazy.
Man, these some pictures you sent me, right? I'm putting them up on screen right now, bro.
School burnt down and shit. And I'm like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Good.
Man.
No bullshit. I always talk shit.
This is crazy.
What's good with you though, man? I ain't seen you in a minute.
My niggas I was trying to stay out the way, but everything gonna bring us back together when this kind of shit crack off, man.
You feel me?
I've been to people's corner, man. Everything gone. I'm sorry, man. For real. I know it's a lot going on right now. Everybody lost a lot, man. But player to player, man. I'm sorry to see everything that happened, dog.
Man, it is what it is now. But you already know we strong.
We gonna be all right.
Yeah,
we gonna be all right. Yeah. I was telling Dwan, if there's anything we know how to do, man, we gonna get some bread and build this bitch back up. Don't forget about us. You already know that.
Even in our lowest point, man, we always gonna be on top. You feel me?
We gonna get it. And come back with it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Out to mean up top, man. We gonna be on top.
You said we gonna get it and come on with it, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, I'm putting up Tay's pictures right now on the screen.
Brothers, man. Go on once again, man, just for putting a little light on the city, man. I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, it's a lot of motherfuckers that did until the news hit didn't even know what Altadena was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been times I done been, locked up in the pen. I tell motherfuckers I'm from Altadena, they back like the milk. Like, nah, nigga, like the city north of Pasadena. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta explain further to people sometimes, man. Let them know, man. So it's for us to get a little shine and for you to put a little bit of attention on our moment of pain and our moment of truth right now, man. I really do appreciate that, though, for real.
Man, for real. I appreciate both of y'all for calling in. I've got a few more callers that's going to be calling in right now. I appreciate both of y'all.
Brother. Take care. Tay, stay up, cuz. I see you around.
All right, for sure.
All right, for sure.
For sure, man. Good talking to y'all brothers. Yeah. That was my man Tay. That was Kenji. We we here. We here with it. Let me see here. Mike Robinson. You there?
Yo.
Okay, cool. I got my man next up. I got my man Mike Robertson in the building.
What's
Mike
up,
Robinson? What's up, Mike?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you? Yes, let me make sure. Say it again.
I said, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Next up, I got my man Mike Robertson. For those of you who've been following me from day one, and I do mean day one, me and his brother had a podcast together. It was his podcast, Mike Robertson Boulevard. He's one of the he's somebody when I start doing my documentary on LA hip hop, he's gonna be heavily featured in that one. He was there with Dre and Snoop on the early tours. He's somebody who, when I first started this show at the radio, when I couldn't do this by myself, I could always call Mike. Hey, Mike, man, I need you to come down to the studio. I couldn't talk by myself for 2 hours back then. I needed help. And Mike helped me out. We went to the same high school 10 years apart, but
Chester.
Westchester High School, yeah. But you're tied to the Pasadena community too, Mike. I want you to talk to the people about your connection to Pasadena and what you've been seeing.
Let me tell you this, man. From the bottom of my heart, right? Altadena, I'm going to put Pasadena on it too, but I'm going to specifically talk about Altadena, man. It's a special place, man. It's very, very, very unique with generations of people there. So I'm from Inglewood originally. I lived all around, right? But I settled in this area around 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So my son was in the first grade. Well, he came before first grade, but when he got to the first grade, he wanted to play football, right? And he was in a class, it was a white school. He was the only black kid in the whole grade, that type shit, right? So I made sure that I signed him up for Pasadena Panthers, which was in the Altadena section of Pasadena, right? Whole football league, all the levels from flag all the way to clinic, up to Pee-wee, junior Pee-wee, all the way up. And they got people that's in the league right now, man, that was playing back then. But that's another story. So the point I want to make is I coached up there, man. I coached football for 5 years. My son played for 6 or 7 of those years up there. I met hundreds of kids, man. Hundreds of their families. Man, they accepted me, man, with open arms, bro. Never no drama, never no issues. I've been to their houses, to the parties, man, to the whatever it is, man, for many years, and I still remain friends with all those people, man. So I want to just say that, man, this is like a special group of people, and they all know each other, man. They all family. Even if they on warring sides, they still be family, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is like they on their own thing up there, but you were right by saying there's no separation between them and us, like Inglewood or Altadena or Compton or wherever your peoples are in LA, man. They are us, man. We the same.
Yeah, like that's one thing I will say about Black LA. Black LA, we've always known that we behind closed doors. we behind the enemy lines because whether you in Compton and you have Long Beach to the south and Paramount to the east, you're surrounded. When you're out there, you guys are surrounded. And so when you get past the petty games, I mean, we in this city, we know that we outnumbered and all we got is each other. And like you said earlier, the people of Pasadena, they accepted you the minute, because you know how it is. You hear stories all the time where people move to a new city, they move to a new side of town, and all you hear is, well, you ain't from here. They didn't do that to you when you moved out there, did they?
Nah, man. And the thing is, it didn't come up not one time. And what I didn't realize is that everyone knew I wasn't from there, because I wasn't from there.
Right.
They all knew each other, right? So it wasn't like it was a mistake on, do I live around here? Like, no, they all knew it, right? And nobody ever said nothing or treated me no kind of way, man. I've been invited to the kids' birthday parties, man. I mean, I got true homies now, man, where I say, like, it's my homie, man. I'll ride for her, So it's just a sad thing, man. I want to tell you a story, though, man. It's kind of a feel-good story. So my little sister, or, my sister-in-law, my wife's little sister, they lost their house, man. They live up there. House burned to the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that happened. So when they were packing their stuff up, man, and they were getting up out of there, they grabbed just a few things, phones, chargers, computer, a couple sweatpants, little shit, and just got up out of there. So my brother-in-law, he was like, man, what's one thing I would grab if I just could get one thing out of there? What would it be? And he said he went back in the house, man, looked around, and grabbed his guitar, dude. Grabbed his guitar, and that's the only thing he saved, man. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the shit, man. It was like, he said, like, you know what, man? If at the end of the day I could play a little tune on this motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I thought that shit was quite interesting, man. Going in and trying to figure out what would you grab, man. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, I don't even know, because Mike, you were in South Central. You were in LA when the riots happened, weren't you?
I was knee deep.
You was knee deep in LA when. Talk to us about the LA riots and what was going on, what you saw, and then versus what you're saying. Not versus, but talk to us about the riots and like some of the death and destruction that you saw there, and how that compares to what we have going on now.
Man, it's so different, man. It's so different because the riots was a rebellious act. You know what I'm saying? This is more of an act being received upon. Shit. You know what I mean? So when we were riding around in the streets, man, look, first of all, let's talk about how fast it escalated. Them damn verdicts came out, bro.
At 3:30, at 4 o'clock, it was.
Man, it was on and cracking. So about 2 hours later, man, it was like driving up and down the streets to Shaw, man. Nobody was stopping for lights and stuff, hanging out the windows. Fools was going. You could see everywhere stores getting ran up in, man. But it was a rebellious act, like I said, man. We even saw dudes riding down Crenshaw, drinking 40s that was all ashed up. They was black from the smoke ash. Niggas drinking black 40s, man. It was crazy. But the thing that is the same though is how the people came together, man.
That's the thing. Dude, right there.
Nobody was tripping on anybody. We was all together. It was the best feeling ever, man. That day one, man, that was the best feeling as a black person, man. Honestly, besides like family shit or whatever, that I ever felt, man. It was like, it had the feeling of freedom, but it had the feeling of togetherness, man. And the 92, man, if you don't understand about how set tripping was going on in 92, man, it was dangerous in LA, man. It was dangerous. You couldn't just go all around, man. People try to act tough and say, I used to do what I want to do. No, you did not. You did not do that, man. So when that happened, man, we was all free, man. Everybody's going around, nobody's tripping, everybody in the streets. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing, man.
It was.
Um,
And
you know, let me just add one more thing, Dewan, because this kind of goes to this discussion, right? I'm from Inglewood, man, and I'm from like the lower side, man. And there's a remnants of this happening when the 110 got built, man, and they wiped out 4 blocks from our neighborhood for that. Not 110, the 105.
The 105, yeah.
105 got built in the late 80s, man. They took a lot of people's houses, man, and it was looking like a ghost town back up in there up until they actually did it. And I have that feeling of driving on there, man, and my neighborhood not being there no more, or a chunk of it, I can only imagine how they have to feel right now with the whole neighborhood just basically demolished. But these people are going to shine, man. They're going to get their stuff together. Everybody's sticking together. Enough noise has been made that support is going to come from a lot of different directions. People's insurance, everybody I know, and I know a lot of people lost their home. Nobody's saying their insurance is tripping, man. People putting out that stuff like they're not going to get the support because they're in that area. Dude, everybody, if you had insurance, they taking your claims, bro. They taking your claims.
Yeah, the governor put a moratorium on them being able to not cancel claims. And here's the 110 freeway, what you're talking about. I have that on camera right now, Lower Inglewood area, where when they wiped out, to get, this was a whole black neighborhood that you see right here. All this was black neighborhood that you see wiped out to build this freeway. And so, I remember them days when they was building that. Talk to us real quick, man, because also another one, and I'm talking to my next two guests about it also, is the 94 earthquake. I remember the 94 earthquake though that happened on Martin Luther King. Matter of fact, 2 days from now, I think tomorrow is like the 31 year anniversary of the 94 earthquake. And I remember when that one dropped, man. I just remember going to bed and the worst violent shake of my life. And before then and after. And I was in the Crenshaw district, and I remember most of the gates, the brick gates, falling down. And my mom having me and my brother go throughout the neighborhood, help the old people put their gates back. And I remember the 110 freeway collapsed not too far from me. And just remember between the 110 collapsing, the 5, the 210, we had a bunch of freeway collapses, and it was like widespread destruction. Talk to us about like, the feeling around the time of that earthquake and this, like as far as like natural disasters go.
The thing about the earthquake is everybody feels the earthquake, right? Even if it don't crush your crib and all that, you felt it just like everybody else.
That's a good point.
The temporary traumatic act from the jolt alone is shared by everyone, because that was some serious shit, man. I was living in Baldwin Hills at the time, and our house was semi kind of on a slope, like part of it was, part of it wasn't. Man, that sucker was shaking, dude, and I could just hear our foundation just going, yeah. I was like, oh man, dude, talk about being scared, man. And after them 40 seconds, whatever the fuck that shit was, a hella long, the house is still standing, like most people's. So when you look at where the destruction happened, where people had to come together, it was kind of in like directed areas. It was like, oh, God forbid you got caught under that freeway when it collapsed, because that was a mother. Oh God.
Hey, I know it was some dude in my church. Remember there was like a public storage under the freeway? They used to be there.
Yeah.
This dude in my church, his name was Brent. He worked at that public storage, but he worked the overnight swing shift. And so he stayed there. And so he was there when it happened. I remember going to church and hearing about some dude that jumped when an earthquake happened, and in his haste, knowing he was under that freeway, instead of walking out the door, this dude ran and jumped through the window and cleared the window out so his family could have a way out the window, and his wife just walked through the door. He jumped out, got scars all on him and everything. And he like, baby, I cleared it away. Then he looked up, she like, fool, the door still worked.
Oh, Lord. Oh, fucking trash. Oh, God.
Yeah, he was a football coach at Hamilton and at Dorsey. But that's what that joke did. It jolted a lot of, and he's a very smart person, but it jolted a lot of smart people senseless.
Hey, man, that was serious business, man. You know, that's a little, man, shit, that's trauma, man. You still got up in you a little bit because you remember that motherfucker. Because most earthquakes are cool, man. It should be kind of fun.
Yeah, most earthquakes, you like,
dude, it's shaking a little bit. Oh, yeah, people so scared. Like, man, that shit is like nothing. But that one was something. For real.
And man, like, you was here, remember back in the early 90s? It seemed like from like 92 to like 94, 95, every summer was a bunch of fires in Malibu. And, and then every winter it was mudslides. Remember that? Seemed like every time, I remember in the early 90s, a whole bunch of Sally Jesse Raphael and my cartoons being interrupted so we can get to a special report of the whole goddamn hillside in Malibu sliding down into the ocean. Remember that era? Like this, it seemed like we kind of coming back to that.
Happening. Dude, these fires, see, people think, man, this is some like special shit, man. These fires happen all the time out here, man. And the thing is, it don't take much. And when it's as windy as it was, man, 100-mile-an-hour winds, because what happens is when the wind comes down that mountain and it hits the bottom and it catapults, man, it's going 100. It could be going 60 when you get further down into the city, but off that mountain, it's going 100 miles an hour, man. So I was talking to one of my friends, you know, that's in the know or whatever. I'm not going to say his name or nothing, but this nigga was saying, man, it's fires every day, man. There's hundreds of them in this city, and they happen every day. And most people are able to put their fire out, or the fire goes out on its own, right?
Or they can send them airline tankers in to do it. But when the wind is 90 miles an hour, you can't do that.
Even before it gets to the tanker and all that, some fires just be like 10 by 10 foot and you put that motherfucker out. Nobody never knew, right? But when that wind coming through like that, man, it's all kind of fires going at all times at all these houses. Niggas is cooking. Motherfuckers got shit burning, smoking. Then you got the electrical wires. There's all kind of shit happening, man. It only take a little bit, man, with wind like that. That shit is like gasoline to a fire, nigga.
Man, all that wind, man. That's just crazy how it is, man. So like you're right, being born and raised in LA, we always got some shit, man. But let them know.
Baldwin Hills burn. Look, when I was in high school, Baldwin Hills fire burned half the mountain. And I literally was driving down La Brea, bro, and saw the fire when it was small. I didn't see who threw something out the car, but it was clearly somebody threw some shit. It was like 20 by 20, small fire. Next thing I know, the whole neighborhood is on fire. And that's just down La Brea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. And that was coming off the heels of the Baldwin Hills dam breaking. And the flood that was a few years, about a decade or so before that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, that's like a natural catastrophe right there and shit, right? Nobody didn't have to have no dynamite to blow up the damn side to make it leak and all that shit, man. It ain't always that type of shit. Now, the sharks come out after it happens now, but they ain't always the ones. Sometimes Mother Nature, man, is like a motherfucker.
Man, Mother Nature is a motherfucker sometimes. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, Mike, for coming on here and telling us your part.
Dewan. Man, you're doing this good work, Dewan, man. People think they gotta get discovered. Somebody gotta find them and shit and all that to be able to get put on somewhere to make a difference, man. You are the proof of this shit, nigga. You own it, Dewan, man. through and through, dog. So I want to just give you the shout, man. For real.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
For real, though. It's all real, man. Keep shining, my good brother.
All right, Mike Robinson, you have a good one, my dog.
All right, party people, holla.
Yes, sir. That's Mike Robinson. That is Mike Robinson. Yeah, it's real. As you see, it's real in the field out here. This goes in the hill. This almost kind of blends in perfectly with what we've been talking about for the most part all summer. You know, and what's been going on now with Kendrick. A lot of y'all from around the country, y'all saw how fast the West got together and rallied around Kendrick. Trust me, y'all. Trust me. Hip-hop is the least of what we rally around out here out West as Black Americans. We rally around anytime we see our brother in distress, whether it be the Lakers and all that cheating the Boston Celtics was trying to do against us, whether that be the Dodgers, whether that be hip-hop, a riot, an earthquake, a fire. When one black person is in distress, we all fucked up out here. And on the West, it go deeper than a rap beef. A lot of y'all just seeing how we get down like that because that Drake-Kendrick rap beef was something that the world noticed. So I threw a lot of people off. See, man, y'all people out West, man, they just go, yeah, we have a code out here. It's a code of conduct. And I would love for this code of conduct to spread nationwide. I would love for this code of conduct to spread nationwide because when one is fucked up, we all fucked up. You dig what I'm saying? And that's how we get down here. Somebody over here in the chat over here acting them. If you want to talk to somebody real fast, show me your screenshot of you putting 50 on a few of these GoFundMes, and then I may listen to what you have to say in the chat. Till then, sit down and listen. God damn it. Now people doing some, let's talk to such and such. We'll get to them when we get to them. In the meantime, we got about 7, 8 GoFundMes down there. How about you drop a quarter on each one, and then by the time you finish donating that money, Zoe Williams will be here. How about that? In the meantime, I'm going to have my man Freez Luv coming up here next. He's getting ready to dial in. Freez Luv is getting ready to dial in. And then after Freez Luv, we're going to have Zoe Williams come on. But to recap what we're doing here, we're here talking about coming together and talking. We're coming together to support. And I don't take none of this money. If you notice, I don't have any links to what I do in the description. None of my website's not even in the description. I got my Cash App up here. I don't even want y'all donating to my Cash App. That's just up here because it's always up there. But I don't even want y'all donating. I don't want nothing. This is all the labor of love for me. I'll get, and I know this isn't a high view content volume. If I want high views, I talk about something else. So this ain't about me making my money. This is about me spending my time that those GoFundMes get funded and still donate to different organizations that you see. You dig what I'm saying? Appreciate that cut from a different cloth. But yeah, we donating. We donating because yeah, here in LA, like we've gone through. I'm gonna go back to a post that I put up yesterday, a tweet that I put out yesterday. About how we get down here in LA. And my man Chris in the chat room know when I bring this up. We got, if you've been like, we had Natasha Harlan's murder in 1991 when that Asian store owner murdered that beautiful black woman in the store and only got 6 months probation. That's something that we had to deal with. You know, that set the 90s off for LA residents, Natasha Harlan's. Then you had the Rodney King whooping. Rodney King got beat on by them police. Rodney King is from Altadena. He lived up there. That thing happened on the 210 freeway. Far from us. You know, some of these other areas, they'd be like, well, that wouldn't. See, this is, let me show y'all something about LA. This is South Central down here. The riots, all that stuff was affecting over here. Me and my man Chris in the chat, when we was kids, we lived down here. This street used to be called Rodeo Road. Now it's called Obama. But all this stuff was burnt up in the riots. All this stuff was burnt up. And we down here, this is South Central down here. This is what they call South Central LA. Down in this way, you see Compton over here, the Watts Towers. You see Compton down here. This is the LA that you see on TV. All the rap videos, all of the music videos, the stuff that you hear about South Central LA, all the, and here's Inglewood. This is all the East Siders and the 213 and the Dog Pound, Dre Day, Ice Cube from over on this side of town, Van Ness and Imperial. You know, this is where they, Altadena's way the fuck out here. But this is still LA City. That's how big this goddamn city is. Altadena is still, Pasadena is its own city. It's a separate city. But Altadena is its own city. It's still part of LA. You see how far from South Central this happened? Rodney King got beat up here in this area. The Rodney King beating happened way up here off the 210 freeway. That's where Rodney King happened. The Rodney King trial was way out here in Simi Valley. See, what they did was, because Rodney King got beat on up here, they didn't want the black folks in South Central really popping off. They didn't want to give Rodney King a fair trial. Had they done the trial, should have happened here in downtown. This is where the trial should have happened, right here in downtown, not too far from Staples Center. This is where the trial should have happened, because the beating was up here. That's still LA. But they said, we don't want to get this dude a fair shot. So they came way over here to Simi Valley, which is not LA, and had the trial out here in an all-white area. So a beating that happened over here where the pen is, a trial that happened way over here caused a big-ass riot to happen down here. Because we didn't sit around and say, man, that's a Dina problem. Man, you shouldn't have been running from the police. That happened in Dina. If this is in some other places where y'all get on a little territorial over a different side of goddamn town, would have never happened. But we don't see that. We see one. We see one. Yeah, I know Rodney King got beat in Lakeview Terrace. That's up here. Lakeview Terrace right here by locking you out of Flint Ridge. Yeah. What's up, Biz Marty? One of my chat room folks is up there in that area. Salute to you, Biz Marty. But yeah, so as you see, that's what happened. This is a massive, 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 massive area. And in LA County, there are more people in LA County than there are 35 states in the country. This area that you see right here, LA County, from Long Beach, LA County ends up here in Lancaster. This is where LA County ends. Way up here. So from right here where you see Edwards Air Force Base to Long Beach, all of that's LA County. And in this area, you have more people than you have in 35 states in the union. Just in that area. But yeah, we survived a lot back then. We survived a lot. We had Rodney King. We had Latasha Harlins. We had, let me see here. Let me see here. Oh, man. Let me see here. There we go. Freeze, is that you?
Yeah, that's me, but my camera's stuck.
I didn't even know you was on. My bad. My shit was tripping on my end. Okay, you on? Well, Freeze's camera's on. Freeze's here. His camera ain't working, but that's the voice that you hear, Freez Luv. Freez Luv is back with us. It's all right. Your camera ain't working. It's all good. We hear your voice. It's all that matters. I was talking to the people about, because you was here in L.A., I was talking about what we went through from Latasha Harlins, Rodney King, the mudslides in the early 90s, the fires, the earthquakes, the riots, OJ. We went through a lot 30 years ago. And now it seems as if we going through it again. Talk to us a little bit about that time. And you was here then and how that correlates to now from a unity standpoint and tragedy standpoint.
Man, we can start with R.I.P. Rodney King. Rodney King's from Altadena.
Yeah.
I grew up with Rodney King.
Oh, okay.
Rodney King, that whole time period, Los Angeles, man, it's crazy because we always got something going on in Southern California.
Bruh.
And right now these fires, Altadena is my home. I haven't physically lived in Altadena since I left to join the Army in 1987, or 1984, I lived in Altadena all my life from 1965 to 1984. All of my preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, primary, elementary, junior high, everything was in Altadena. Then high school was in Pasadena with kids from Altadena and Pasadena. That whole region is my whole, man, my get down. That's who I am. These are my people. I don't have to tell you, we're strong people, man. The riots in 92, the riots in 65, all of people, Altadena, Los Angeles, were always connected. You don't have people I'm from Altadena. My cousins live in Compton and Gardena. I have cousins in South Central. And that's pretty much, Inglewood. I have family, Pacoima. Everyone's related, man. Altadena is we touch all of these people, man. Latasha Harlan, when that happened, that was, I think, as a young adult, that was something that hit me hard. Like, wait a minute, man, this little girl just put some milk on the counter and threw the money down, because she didn't like the attitude. She obviously left enough to cover the price and then got shot in the back of the head. And it was on film. We had that on film, you understand? And even with it being on film, for someone the justice to be probation for 5 years, it was just that feeling of unfairness. We had that. Rodney King beat half to death. And then four police officers who did it again on film. We had it on film. Didn't matter. Still, that feeling of being, unfairly treated. That feeling goes a long way. And when even these fires, it's like, this is nature, man. This is, the higher powers will right now. This is what we're going through. But just please understand that we are all connected. And I know this, that's one thing that I appreciate about growing up in Altadena is I've had a firsthand account with all different types of people. Altadena is a diverse, very diverse section of Los Angeles County. And when I mean diverse, I don't just mean racially diverse, economically diverse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went to school with kids whose mom and dad worked at JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, like they guide Voyager, you know, and we went to school with kids whose parents were professors at Caltech. But at this time that I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, all these kids were intertwined with each other in the public school system. It was a great public school system. And it was just always, if you go through my classroom pictures, you'll see the last names Jackson, Gonzalez, Zimke, Caputo, Harris, Cummings, Goldberg. We were all in this is our environment. So I had a firsthand account. You just, hey, man, white people are like, nah, I know a lot of white people. And they're all very different, just like all the black people I know is very different. And that doesn't have anything to do with it. When it's time to get down together, we always do. And that's Altadena will believe it's going to rebuild. We need prayers and just understand it's going to be rebuilt.
Man, it's going to be rebuilt. And it's going to be something that that I know that knowing how to get down up there, I know it's going to be rebuilt in an image and a likeness of the people who are up there, because the will is strong. You can't burn away a will.
No, absolutely not. I mean, my parents, they're both from the Midwest. My mom was from Chicago. My father was from Omaha, Nebraska. They met through mutual friends in Pomona, California at a house party. They hooked up. My mom, and when they got married, we were in LA, and on the west side on Carmona, we were there. And when I say we, I'm talking about I was an infant, like 8 months old. From there, we went to see my Uncle Louis Boy, my mom's brother from Chicago, who was living on the West Sacramento Street, right in Altadena. And my mom and pop said, man, this is where we need to be. And so from the age of 8 months old, I've been in Altadena up until, like I said, I joined the military. And I attribute always being able to get along with people wherever I went because I grew up in Altadena. That's very special. That's going, this is what we're going through right now. This is part of our history right now. But believe, the story is not over. People of Altadena are resilient people, man. And we know firsthand that people are good and people are strong. So this is where we're at right now. We need help. We need help from, any and everybody. You can, clothes, water, they need, they have a few. Go and check out Pasadena Black Pages on Facebook. That's the source that I that's an Altadenian dude, man. My homie Dennis Haywood, that's his website. He is a resourceful, up-to-date guy. He's always on that, bringing all types of info, current info. So Pasadena Black Pages on Facebook. That's a good. I stand by that. That's the homie. I know it's real stuff on there. So check that out.
I'm looking them up right now. You said Pasadena Black Pages?
Yes, Pasadena Black Pages on Facebook.
Okay.
And also shout out to, man, so many of my brothers I grew up, childhood friends, man, up in, it's crazy because they have a clip that's going that is on the news. It's viral. It's a clip of Lake Avenue, Lake Avenue and Alameda in Altadena. And it's, for me, every time I see they show that all the devastation all the way up Lake, it's like that is my very first-hand neighborhood, man.
Man.
Like, it's crazy. That's my pop. You know, I could that Jack in the Box that they keep showing. That's where I used to go to get my pops chicken supremes. You know, they go past the Dutch Oven Bakery, which was some Dutch people owned the bakery, and they hired all black people. And then when the Dutch people passed away, they left it to a black family. You know, and the black family kept it rocking up until, you know, they passed away and did what they. That place is gone. It's decimated. It was replaced by an African store that you could get everything from golf hats to dashikis. You know, this is, you know, current right now that was going on, and that's gone. And you know, the businesses, and just to see this, you know, it's not just decimation. It's like strong memories and development points in life of that neighborhood for me, you know, and my homies, my people, my friends, you know, that have, you know, I've just been talking with all my people, you know, from years. Some I haven't spoken to them in years, and just like in disbelief, man. We're still in disbelief. It's unreal that these places are gone, you know.
It's
But they
unreal.
are, and they will. And the other side of the coin is like, wow, this is the card we've been dealt now. Okay, well, watch how we flip this. Watch, we will flip this in a positive, because that energy there is positive. So it will resonate always. You know, I love Altadena, Pasadena, hell, maybe even Gardena, because y'all part of Dena too.
Yeah, hey.
And the Covenas and the Enas, all.
And the Covina, East and West Covina and West Covina.
West Covina, Monrovia, Duarte, all my foothills, you know, all my people, brothers and sisters, and people all up in these foothills, man. This is very much a section of Los Angeles that people, you know, kind of, you know, they think is further out than what it is, you know. And it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy, dude.
It's crazy.
They had Lindsay's Liquor in the hardware store across the street up on Mariposa. You know, all of these places. I played Little League for Lindsay's Liquor, man. I played Little League in Central Altadena Little League at Farnsworth Park, which is no more. Farnsworth Park. It's so crazy because I'm laughing because, man, I played Little League at a time where the teams were actually, they didn't have a name. The name was the sponsor. I played for a team called Lindsay's Liquor.
So that wasn't just no Bad News Bear shit going on.
Yeah, man, we had Lindsay's Liquor. We had Scott's Mobile, which was a gas station, a black-owned gas station at that. Shouts out to Scott's Mobile. We had Bevel's Pest Control. We had Republic Federal Savings. You know, these were the teams that we had, man. And I played for Lindsay's Liquor, and I was like, man, that's wild, man. They should have given the kids a shot before they were, hey, kid, Lindsay's Liquor, take one on the house. Now go up and hit a home run, you know?
It's funny you say that as far as how diverse it is. I was one of my people who's like, on their own dime, this cat right here has been helping me build my metaverse world, and I ain't had to put up a dime. My man, Chris Pack, he's a white guy out, and for me, certain things go beyond race, you know what I mean? Yeah. And this brother lived up in Altadena for a long time now, and I'm putting his Cash App, his GoFundMe up there too, because he literally was working on my metaverse world and didn't have time to go and get his stuff because he was in the office literally building a metaverse world. And up in Altadena, that's normal as far as the different groups. I'm not going to sit here and be like, everything's a huge kumbaya. Nothing in America. America's not a kumbaya country. This is a fighting ass country. But so I'm not about to sit here and lie and be like it's a big ass kumbaya. Nothing in America is. But
no.
At the same time, people in that area really knew how to coexist without a lot of your racist microaggressions that you see in, like, say, Orange County and other areas where even though they're there, you can feel like, ooh, they're looking at me. That's not how it get down in Altadena, in Pasadena. It's like me and my wife used to always say when we drive up there, when you go up to Pasadena, Altadena, white people know how to mind their business. Like, they don't be all up in your face like, what are these niggers doing here? You've never gotten that feeling in Altadena. That's one thing I can say about that and Pasadena.
I will say that I'm not going to say it won't happen, but it will be out of place.
Yeah.
It'll be out of place. And there will be enough whatever people around to let them know that it's out of place. Like, we don't get out with that. I mean, it's too deep. It's very deep, Altadena, Pasadena, man, where the age I grew up in the 80s, man, not only did we have the flyest house parties in all of Southern California.
Hey, y'all did have the flyest house parties.
Yeah, man.
Going into the 2000s, my time, in the 90s.
Yeah, man, that's Altadena, man. Shouts out to Altadena's. We got flavor. We're a part of this LA groove, and it's always, the people that have lived there, Patrice Rushen, Meshack Taylor, who was the black dude on Designing Women. He was an actor. We had, man, way, way back, even back to the age of the Gong Show. Eugene the Dancing Machine was from Altadena, baby. And you would see him in the market basket, which was, spared in this fire. Surprisingly, everything around it burnt. But that old market basket, you'll see Eugene the Dancing Machine, like Eugene the Dancing Machine, and he would always hit it. He was an Altadenian,
Hey, speaking of that, I remember it was a story you told me a long time ago that I still thought was one of the best stories. Talk to us. Late 70s, going into the 80s, the banging lifestyle is coming, but y'all wasn't necessarily using guns. Y'all was, breakdancing it out? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, no, man. I'm from the era where certain things, to be a kid in Southern California and not have grown up or been a part of a gang, or your neighborhood being affiliated with a gang, which could very well make you a member of that gang, regardless of what you say, is, I've grown up in that life. And I've had, I have had, and I still have so many friends. I mean, what I consider friends, like deep friends on both sides, Crips and Bloods, and not only friends, family members. I'm a guy that has cousins and relatives, you understand? And that's blood related and real kinfolk, like on both sides. This is a real LA experience. And that, at the period I was involved in that, I was a kid, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I was, blessed in one sense because it was about chunking them. You had to be able to scrap, and you had to stand up for yours and scrap. And things like packing dudes out, that was frowned upon. That was weak. Like, yo, jump somebody? Like, nah, you weak. You didn't let him get his head up. It's about toe to toe, head up. And 9 out of 10 times, after cats would go head up and toe to toe, it was a different level of respect and understanding, where people got along. And it's, the whole, to see it go from that into what it's become, to me is just, it's evidence that this was something that somebody saw in us, the will and the want to be a member of a tribe and a community, and kind of like turn it into something else, distort it in a way to where it started eating itself up. And that's how I look at banging. It's like, of course, you love your hood. You should love your hood. You should love your hood. You should stand up for your hood. But do other people have to die that you don't even know, you've never encountered? You deprived yourself. I mean, it's just the whole idea of what's hard has been replaced to what's weak. To me, the hardest cat is the cat that can show up with no gun, no knife, just his things, lefty and righty, and say, look, I'm willing for peace. Right now, I don't got nothing on me. Who could step to the enemy hood and do that? That's the hard, and then put a hand out. Look, let's work this out. That's hard. That's gangster. That's hoodlum. That's what that is. But we're not doing that. We're it's turned into something of get them before they get me. It's like, no, this is not our culture. Our culture is to unite and to build, and we will have obstacles and things thrown in our life to make us see that and embrace that, because that's our strength, is our diversity.
That's real talk.
The strength is the diversity. As many different people you have in a room, that's that many different ways you have to skin the cat.
Talk to us about how, like, I remember you talk about how, like, Cat, how culturally how the dance crews were back in the early 80s.
Oh my gosh.
Talk to us about the dance crews back, how y'all used to solve issues through dancing.
See, let me tell you. Now, I have a real good account of that because I didn't participate because I was a fat dude. Not that there weren't fat dudes participating, but I wasn't one of them kind of fat dudes that would jump out there and skip around. I was more of a lay in the cut and talk about the fat dudes out there skipping around kind of guy, But I have to give a shout out to my homie Darren Lyons. Darren Lyons check him. I'm sure you will see something posted by him. Master Barber, DL Master Barber. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now. Drives and you could resources. So check him out on Instagram. But he was one of the dudes that was like, I come from an era of hip hop where you have to understand, being a beatbox was a real aspiration. Like, it made sense for someone to say, I'm going to be a beatbox. It was like, that makes sense, but
Yeah.
I've had to see those guys' hearts get broken to, like, hey man, the beatbox didn't make it. It's like, but I knew cats that was that era of hip hop, and dance has always been a part of hip hop, from break dancing to popping to groove dancing. And groover crews were very big from Dina. They had 5, 6 different crews. And I don't remember all their names. They probably mad, like, how you don't remember my name, man? Like, I don't remember the name of y'all's names, man. Because the Groover guys was always the guys that, like, the girls were available until these dudes showed up, It's like when they showed up to the party, all the attention went to them. And there's Michael Jackson jackets in there. The Jerry curls with the Superman curl in the front. Those was the groovers, with the hammer pants, and they would take over a party doing these dances, and it was serious, The groovers, that's more of your era. For me, we had different eras in Dina, man. Preppy era, I was a bagger too. So bagging.
That was me. I was bagging. I wasn't about to sit around and be dancing and sweating and shit.
I'm Freez Luv, Paul Farmer, man. I've always held it down with bagging. From first, second grade, that's part of our culture. The dozens, it goes that deep and it's serious. Like, shouts out to the homie Craig Smith. That's a young homie of mine from the Dinas, Bagging is serious where we come from, we take, but that's the kind of people we are in Altadena, man. Altadena, Pasadena. You can't say one without saying the other if you're from that region, And that's always why I would always say, like, on my special, Throwing Apples, go check out my special. There's plenty of Altadena stories on there. That's where I'm from, man. I love my city. And I always say Altadena because people always talk about Pasadena. Pasadena, the Rose Bowl. Yeah, and I love it. But what about Altadena, man?
Hey, speaking of Altadena and Pasadena, I got my man Zoe Williams on the line right here, my man Freez.
What's up, Zoe?
What up?
Another Altadena guy.
Yeah, we that's what we doing. Zoe was gonna come on a little bit after you, but I was like, nah, you on the line, come on now. Cause we seeing what's going on right now. This is again, for those of you that's not listening, that's now tuning in, this is a fundraiser. We have donation links in the description right now. I want you to go through the GoFundMe links, and I want you, again, I'm not touching any of the money. This isn't to me. I hit up Kenji, Zoe, Tay 3, who you saw earlier, Freeze, and say, hey, who are the people that you know they genuine, and you know that their cause is just, give me their link, because we have to pass this around. Again, this is separate. I don't want anybody come and say, well, what about I salute to my organizations. There are organizations out there doing plenty of things. Zoe send me some links to some organizations. But this here, we putting stuff directly in to the pockets of people who need some money between now and when the system can come through and help them. That's what this is about. And we're doing it with people from Altadena, from Pasadena. Some are born there, some are moved there. And right now, we got Freez Luv on the line along with Zoe Williams, man. Two cats I look up to, so I'm ecstatic like a motherfucker. I don't care what y'all say.
Zoe, what up with you, man? Just here in Altadena and the situation in Altadena and you here right now, I think you're that damn studio in Altadena on Marathon.
Come on, man. Come on,
man.
You already know.
Coolio, Dub C fell through there.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. This is man, we had to, in the whole hip hop scene, we literally had to scrap and nail, tooth and nail, to get a real foothold in the hip hop scene of LA. Shouts out to The Good Life, who would never let us on the mic because we cussed too much. Keep it 100. Shouts out to all of my people in man, Fifth Street Dicks, all of that. We would come all the way from Altadena. Me, Zoe, all our homies. We would drive to these spots and participate in the hip hop underground scene. Shouts out to the E-Bar in Pasadena, Real Flows. Yeah. we had our own what you call them, cipher spots. But Altadena's always had a foothold in hip hop, man.
Yes, it
Shouts
has.
out to the club. Yeah. Shouts
out to the Far Side. Shouts
out to the Far Side. Yeah.
Boogie Brown.
Boogie Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Pasadena. Pasadena High School.
Man.
Yep. Can't keep running away.
Man, it's man. Patrice Russian, man. Come on. Altadena.
Patrice Russian. Going back to that Underground Railroad that from South Central to 110 North, from South Central to Patrice Russian, and people understood the magnitude of Patrice Russian's greatness. I had gotten just yesterday, I had gotten a text message, and I know she's going to be mad I shouted her out, but I got a text message from Tashina Arnold. She was watching the Richard Pryor live on Sunset Strip. She was like, who put this music together? I was like, that's Patrice Russian.
Yeah.
Patrice Russian, boy.
Yeah.
Woo!
Man. That's real. Hey, shouts out to the Zawinul family, too. Joe Zawinul, the weather report. His kids went to school with us in Dena, man. Yeah. We got a lot of music. It's an eclectic, it's a good mix, man, because you have to understand when they was redlining and all of this, black people can't buy here. Black people, there's no spot in Orange County like Altadena.
Nope.
There's no spot like it's a deep little spot, man. There's a lot of poets. There's a lot of doctors, engineers.
You literally had JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, is right there.
It's right there, and that's it's just we just had the blessing of growing up with all types of different race people, and these are just good people. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, man, you can't say nothing to me about Scott Caputo, man. That's my homie. This dude, you can't say nothing to me about Andy Province. You know, this is a guy whose family made the fucking cones, the orange cones that you see, the safety cones. Yeah, I know the kid whose family patented that. He went to public school in Pasadena. White kid that's down as hell, you know, always has been. Doors always open. You go to I've been to too many white people's families' houses and was treated like a regular person,
and with that
without
being,
any kind of.
They'll say it was that relationship, and I want to let Zoe jump in and talk about that Pasadena. I know you came from Tennessee, Zoe.
Yeah, my family, we were the last to come to Pasadena. The rest of my family was already here. Mm-hmm. My great grandmother was here in '55.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. You know, her sons came here, and then the nephews of her sons came. And my uncle, when he got here, he was 17, and he bought his first crib on Grand Door in Altadena, which is right around the corner from James Broadway. Broadway's crib burnt down. But when my uncle got here, he got that crib on Grand Door, put his brothers in there. Then he bought another crib by the Rose Bowl. He bought it for $19,000. See what I'm saying? And by the time my mother decided to get us out here, we got here in late '78. And we moved on 665 West Altadena Drive, right next to George's Liquor Store, which in the hood, that's called the block, Altadena Block, ABC Crips. We came right in, and, you know, I used to go to school at Audubon. I'd just hop the gate from my apartment building and be right at school, you know? Mm-hmm. And one of my uncles was one of my teachers at that school. He was my English teacher and my music teacher. And I mean, I'm listening to Freez Luv, man. When you think about the impact of Pasadena, a lot of people, before the internet, Pasadena was isolated. You know, everybody in the city knew everybody. You know what I'm saying? We all, like, we knew everybody's parents. We knew everybody's people. We was connected. And people don't understand, like, you don't get Panda Express without Pasadena. You don't get Trader Joe's without Pasadena. All of these businesses started in Pasadena. And like Freez is saying, very diverse community. And before the 2000s, Pasadena as a city was 47% Black. People don't understand that. 47% Black. Steve Urkel, Jaleel White went to John Marshall High. Tamala Jones, John Marshall High. You feel what I'm saying? What's the actor, the martial art actor? Michael Jai White, his wife.
Yes,
Gillian.
yes.
Gillian Waters, that's Pasadena. Her street burnt down where she grew up, right down the street from Farnsworth Park. You know, I'm hoping, you know, her family saved their house. I don't know. But man, the impact of that place is crazy. You know, when we started rhyming, Freez Luv was a little older than us. I was about 15, 16. I think Freez had just got out of the Army. Correct me if I'm wrong, big brother.
He just dropped. I think he's going through a bad area right now. He dropped. He'll be back.
Yeah, Freez Luv had just got out of the Army and reconnected with the crew, and we rhyming. And he was in a group with James Broadway and Leonard Krosky, and they had a record deal from Profile Records. They were called Atmospheric. And we just started our crew, and we was rhyming and doing our thing. And I mean, when I think about the devastation, my people's lost 7 properties.
7.
You feel me? We lost 7 properties, dog. So it's hard to wrap your head around it. It's hard to wrap your mind around the devastation, the families that are displaced. And I'm just gonna say this, DeJuan, I appreciate you just for doing this.
Yeah.
Weaponizing and mobilizing your platform to get people to participate in the give back. A lot of people didn't know Altadena was still 31% black. Now, a lot of people didn't know that. When we look at Pasadena right now, Pasadena went from 47% black in the 80s and 90s to 7% black because of regentrification. You see?
Yeah.
Pasadena was one of the first cities to do an old town.
Yep.
It was one of the first cities, and then a lot of other cities started to model their cities off of Pasadena's blueprint for Old Town, where you take the Old Town, you regentrify it, and you get that foot traffic and the average worth of the people walking the streets, going into those stores to $100,000 a year. Pasadena was the first to do that model. But in doing that, they pushed out the black population. So when I was growing up, we had that ghetto. King Manners was one of the most notorious, one of the most dangerous places in the world. But because of regentrification, those families couldn't live there anymore. And that's why the black population of Pasadena dropped so drastically. So, man, just seeing all of this stuff, all of the devastation, all of the families, man, it's heartbreaking because like Freez said, it's a unique place, man. You think about Troop came out of Pasadena.
Yep.
Think about John B. came out of Pasadena. Think about Michael Cooper came out of Pasadena. Jackie Robinson, Inger Miller, Stacey Augman, Ricky Irvings, Chris McAllister, Chad Brown, Marcus Robinson. You start thinking about all these people, Jock Vaughn, all these people came out of the Pasadena, Altadena area, man. And like I said, man, just a very close-knit community. And to be able to witness what's going on. I'm in Culver City right now. I think about the kids. Think about it. If Pasadena is not regentrified, Bryce Young with the Carolina Panthers, his family from Pasadena, the Drews, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All them kids, man, they had to go somewhere else. They had to go to some other high school. Imagine if all that talent stayed in Pasadena. In a lot of ways, Pasadena, Altadena was like Oakland. You know how Oakland has all this talent, all these great people coming out of Oakland. Pasadena was just like that until the regentrification movement happened. So ownership, sharing of resources, networking, connecting with each other. You think about my uncle who came out here at 17. His father had just lost their mother to stomach cancer at 36. He takes 3 of his sisters and his youngest brother. His youngest brother was 10 at the time. He takes them from Chattanooga, brings them to Pasadena, raises them, put them in school. When he got married, his wife, he told her, go to Cal State LA. She went to Cal State LA, came back to Pasadena, became the CEO of Pasadena City College.
Whoa.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm talking about this networking. My uncle had this plan, like, all right, we coming from Chattanooga, but our peoples are already in Dena. Let's get into the infrastructure. Let's create a pipeline to bring our people from Chattanooga to Pasadena and put down roots. And man, to see that thing uprooted, man, I used to own a bookstore right there on Fair Oaks. The bookstore is burnt. You see what I'm saying?
The bookstores that you used to own is gone.
Up.
We got Freez back here.
I remember Freez Luv. Freez Luv brought Eddie Griffin to my bookstore in Altadena.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Freez?
I do.
Freez brought him to the spot. I was there dropping science. That was the name of my bookstore. I was dropping science. I was talking about religion and culture, and I was breaking all this down. Freez was like, yo, Eddie, you got to holler at my boy. You got to holler at my little brother. He brought him through. And man, we sat in my bookstore, chopped it up. And Eddie been on that shit since then. Am I bullshitting, Freez?
Yeah, that's him. Ed, now, let me show you how deep this is, though. What prompted that was a conversation that me, Eddie Griffin, and Dave Chappelle, and another brother, rest in peace, Kirk Taylor, who was a writer on Sanford and Son, and got down with Norman Leary, who's also a writer on Malcolm and Eddie. We used to sit after we get done at the Comedy Store, we would go to this IHOP, and we would be talking like from the Comedy Store would let out at 2. We were out of there from like, I'd say from 2:30 to like 10 in the morning. We would be in this IHOP. And this is back when you used to be able to smoke in a restaurant. And we would all be sitting there, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Griffin, we would talk all kind of conspiracy theories. And I mean, you know, we was reading books. We was discussing books like Behold the Pale White Horse and William F. Cooper and all these cats. And it got, I was like, look, man, it was like, yo, it's hard to get this book. It's hard to get that book. I was like, I know who has it. Believe me. We got to go see my man. If he doesn't have it, it's not going to be there, you know? And sure enough, he had what he was looking for. And Zoe was that kid. Zoe had that stuff. Zoe was the you remember that one, that booklet, that pamphlet you had about the theory of human beings evolving from dolphins?
Yeah. Man,
you remember that?
Man, yes. I had all of them shits.
Yeah.
And what was crazy was Freez, like I said, we saw Freez evolve from a dope-ass MC, right? I was telling you, he was in a group called Atmospheric with James Broadway and Leonard Krosky. And they got a record deal through Priority. You got to understand how big that was at that time, right? Yeah. So they on Priority Records. They put out a couple records. It didn't pop the way it was supposed to pop. And then we saw Freez transform into a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We saw him transform before. Freez was already funny than a motherfucker. Didn't nobody want to say nothing to Freez because Freez had jokes. Freez will bag your ass under the table. Freez was clowning, clowning. So we watching Freez transform from MC to comedian. And Freez would do these spots, like they had a club, him and Eddie Griffin, they had like a little spot where they would go do their shit. And Freez made it known. He was like, hey, everybody got to show up. And we would all show up. We would be this nigga's crowd. He had a built-in audience. We would go wherever the fuck he was at, and we would be in there because we wanted to see our brother do it. And he just kept fucking going. And that was one of the proudest moments that I had, was just to watch Freez blow up, man. Like, and next thing you know, this motherfucker on tour. Next thing you know, this motherfucker with Eddie Griffin, he on TV. We like, this nigga did it. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? We were so close back then, man. We were together every day. We were recording records every day. We was at some comedy event with Freez every day. The shit was fly because we were working together and supporting each other's endeavor. That's what Pasadena is. That's what Altadena is, man. And some niggas was raised in Altadena. Some niggas was raised in Pasadena. And if you know, there is a slight difference. If you know, you know. There's a slight difference. You know what I'm saying? The Altadena side, you're going to see our Crips. The Pasadena side, you're going to see PDL. You're going to see our Bloods. But the reality of it is...
But don't forget also, they got Bloods in Altadena too, and they got Crips in Pasadena too.
Absolutely.
You know, and they got a lot of Latin gangs and Armenian gangs and
the
Asian
Villa
gangs.
Boys, yeah.
This is LA.
Yeah.
Very much LA, always has been. You know, Altadena Block Crips were, I'd say, in the early 70s. That's when, this is back when, there was really only 2 gang signs in all of gang banging. It was this one and this one.
I
And that
remember
was it. You didn't
That's
have
it.
all these other new
That's
fancy. You
it.
didn't have none of that. You had 2 gang signs. And,
That's it, man.
and not only that, I'm talking about an economy that fed that and promoted that. Like you go into a Foot Locker or Athlete's Foot, guess what? They only have red Chucks, blue Chucks, white Chucks, or black Chucks.
That's it.
What if you want some green Chucks? I remember the era where they didn't have green Chucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, this was that divide is serious, and it's I'm at the age of 59. Yeah. 59.
You know what's crazy? We was trying to play that clip you did for Madcap when you did the reversible Crip blood jacket and the khakis. We've got red khakis, green khakis, blue khakis, even
Hello,
warm
my
khakis.
name is, here we go. Hello, my name is Andy Gucci and a Rolex. I like the welcome and every one of you down to Khakis Emporium. Well, we got the khaki that fit you. We got red khakis, blue khakis, green khakis, orange khakis, mauve khakis for our West Hollywood fellas. We got every kind of khaki you need. Hey, Shanita, where'd you get your khakis? Khakis Emporium, fool. Yeah. Yeah, we had that's Andy Gucci and a Rolex. We had that. We had before I was doing any kind of stand-up comedy or anything. I was doing what you call them what do they always say, interludes. Yes. I was the interlude king, and I had some bomb interludes.
And remember, I was in high school. And we did that, me and Poet, we did that Walk Like Sex record.
Yeah.
And then you did the Spanish voice. He was doing impressions way back then.
Yeah.
He did the Spanish voice.
I was all pre-comedy, man. And let me show you how deep that song that Cuddy's talking about. This is how we was in hip hop. We had that song on a 12-inch. With Music Dome Records.
Yep.
Shouts out to Cameron Bolin and Sue Bone and Jim Park and all them cats that went out there and put it down for Music Dome Records. We had When I Was a Young Boy, which was a song I had when I was a young boy. Yo, when I was a young boy. Damn, when I was a young boy, all I wanted to do was be your man.
Yes. Yeah.
But mind you, there's a history to both these songs, man. On that, When I Was a Young Boy, that song went on to spark and become the anthem of the Detroit narcotics crew, Young Boys Incorporated. They adopted that song. That song was charting in Detroit. We was like, what's going on in Detroit? We didn't know.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the coin, Walk Like Sex, we hit the New Music Seminar with that 12-inch. And shouts out to Broadway and LC, the producers of that. They was we was West Coast hip hop. And we was on the East Coast and at the BRE, the Black Radio exclusive seminars. And we was taking this song around, and guess who else had a song at the same time?
Cool G Rap.
He used the front of the break, and Broadway and them used the back of the break for else. And it was like right to walk like sex, talk like sex. Walk like sex, talk like sex. And those records came out at the same time. And Cool G Rap and them was stronger. It was an East Coast group, man. That's Cool G Rap. This was the homies. We was putting it down for the West Coast, man.
That's crazy. Like you two both, and I know Zoe, you did A&R. You two both have really strong roots in the music industry from out here out west.
Yeah, it was I got out of the Army in 1987, and I got out of the Army to pursue a music career. because I had met a cat named Tony Sinclair. Shouts out to Tony Sinclair, still in the music business. Hell of a producer. He took me and he made some beats with me, and he introduced me to this cat, James Broadway, who was also working with this dude, Tony Sinclair. Through them, we met a cat named John Barnes.
Yeah.
If you know John Barnes was like one of 5 synclavier players in the world. He did all of the Michael Jackson, Liberian Girl, Dirty Diana. John Barnes was master producer, and we had met him and started working with him. Man, it's so crazy. John Barnes, another Altadena, rest in peace. There's another cat that lived in Altadena at the top of Loma Alta.
Yeah.
Where Loma Alta and Lake met. That's an Altadena person too. Tony Sinclair, Altadena person, you know. These are, you know, and through that and my you know, where Zoe's bookstore is, there's a cemetery right across the street from that.
Yeah,
Mount View
that's
Cemetery.
my great grandmother is buried there. That shit burnt too.
Both of my parents are buried there. Both of my parents are buried there. You know, and it's, you know, it's like, wow. It's come on, man. And it just, you know, because I'm a comedian, I blow trees and I think and I do all kind of shit. I remember as a kid, when I went to Altadena Elementary, I remember we had a field day, a field trip to go up to Mount Low, on a hike to Mount Low. And we went up to Mount Low, and it was the foundation of the Echo Mountain Hotel, Mount Low Hotel. And it was the first streetcar that they had in Los Angeles, that you could take a train from downtown Los Angeles at Angel's Flight right there, all the way up to Mount Low, this hotel. And I believe this was in the late 1800s, like 1896, 18. Yeah. And that hotel burnt down, man. That's what made them stop all of that. The tracks burnt. There was a fire that was in there.
And it's an area that's always been like a fire risk. With you two being there for a long time, I know you guys have seen a lot, smelled a lot of fires. Did you ever think you can get this far?
Hey, man, you know what? I never would have thought it would get this far on one hand, but on another hand, I remember being in my yard in Altadena, California, Southern California, Altadena, and having ashes from Mount St. Helens eruption. That was way up in Washington, yes. Those volcanoes, the wind took those ashes from Mount St. Helens all the way down to Altadena, Pasadena. We had ashes from Mount St. Helens.
1980,
so, yeah. The force of nature is no joke, man. It's no joke. It has to be respected. It will be respected. It's no joke. We have to you know, we're gonna rebuild. People are going to rebuild, but we should rebuild with that in mind.
Rebuild knowing that nature is. So what do you did you ever see that, Zoe? Have it been this possible?
I never thought it was possible because
I never thought it was possible, but this is you man, I'm telling you, any neighborhood you're in, wherever you're at, if you can't walk outside and imagine the whole neighborhood being gone, unless you're in a war zone. It's a war zone. If you know, people in Palestine, people in Israel, people in all of, you know, Eastern Europe, there's people that this is their reality, and
that's
it's
every day. Yeah,
that's every day. And here it is, right home, right here, right now. And it's by the force of nature. It's the human condition is what we can accept and what we can grasp. A lot of times we can't even grasp it, right? I'm at that point. I cannot grasp this right now.
He can't.
Yeah.
You know?
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. We mentioned his name a few times, James Broadway.
Yeah.
James Broadway lost everything. His house burnt down. He lost all his beats, all his equipment. That's 35, 40 years of sounds that he's been accumulating. He lost everything. So what I did for him yesterday, and he was reluctant. You know Broadway. Broadway was reluctant than a motherfucker. He didn't want to come out. I said, nigga, I'll come get you. I can't let this shit go, my nigga. His house burnt down. King T came and got him because everything was on fire. King T came and got him.
Salute to King T.
And
King T, King of Hub City, baby.
That's right. King T posted on his Instagram. They driving through Broadway's neighborhood. Every house is on fire. Then they pull up to B-Way's crib. His house is completely to the ground, burnt all the way down to the ground. I said, man, get your ass over here. I gotta do this for you. So he comes on my show yesterday, my So What show, and we just do an impromptu fundraiser for him right there. And people were giving him money, a little something. It wasn't a lot, but it was more than what he had because he lost everything. His mother had to go to the hospital. She was in the emergency room. I hope she's out by now, but the toxins in the air, Dorothy couldn't take it. So they took her to the hospital, and he's checking on her, at like 3 a.m. because he's noticing fire in his neighborhood. He zips over there to check on her. By the time he get back home, his house is fully engulfed. Done. Done.
And I'm seeing that a lot with up there. It's like so many multi-generational families that are, even when they move out, they still stay somewhat within the areas. Now, they don't move too far if they can afford to stay. You see that up there. Multi-generational families. And I don't want to have you guys here all day. I know you guys are both busy and got things to do. Freeze, and then I'm gonna go Freeze first, and then Zoe. What do you want to leave the people with?
I just want to just understand that prayer is real. Prayer is real. It's not no magic. It's not no. It's not no.
Only Freeze can say it like that.
It's real. First off the top, condolences, deep condolences to all my family who has taken losses, to the Kelly family, to Mrs. Kelly. Oh my God. Just to Mrs. Broadway, prayers for Mrs. Broadway, for the Broadway family, for the Blaylock family, for we come from, like you said, it's generations and generations of people and families, and it's deep and it's real, and I just know that prayer is real, and live in the moment. Let's live in the moment. And right now, the moment, we all need help. Let's take care of one another. Let's help any way we can. Don't think that there's something that's too small. There's no such thing. Whatever you do, I shouts out to my homie John Wright, another Altadena. I saw him on Pasadena Black Pages. That's Dennis Hayward and them, and they got a lot of resources. John Wright, like this is my homie that grew up on El Molino, right in between Murata and Sacramento Street, where I grew up on Sacramento Street. That street, my house I grew up in, is gone. Ruby Nell's house is gone. All of these houses are gone, man. It's the way this stuff comes back is you're gonna see some unbelievable stuff, just as unbelievable as this stuff was taken. Watch how it comes back, because we're like Zoe will tell you, we're strong, we're fighters. We soldier through this stuff. Put God first and let's go. Let's get it done. Let's everybody pitch in. Each one teach one, each one help one. We need it. Don't be ashamed to say what you need. This is not that. This is about let's go. What you need, we're gonna get it to you. There's a lot of resources, and the love is deep. For everybody going through something, the love is deep. Our prayers is with all of each other. All right.
Yeah.
Much love to you, Zoe, the Broadway family, to J Self, to B Way, to man, come on. The list goes all of them, the Harris family, the man.
These is families, these is legacies. So what can you leave us with, my brother?
I think Freez Luv really encapsulated the point. I keep saying this. We got to stop waiting for tragedy to strike to be unified. Pasadena, Altadena, yeah, that's a community. That's just one community in the United States of America. We're worried about a land grab. We're worried about insurance companies taking advantage of this situation. You already know how white commerce works. If there is a tragedy, it represents an opportunity for those who have resources. This is why unity amongst our people is such a big thing. And I've been pushing this ever since I got into radio, ever since I got into podcast. If it's on us to save this situation, please understand this. We ain't got to worry about people coming in taking advantage, because if we coalesce around each other and we start to support each other, we could save people's homes, we could save people's legacy, because we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't it be a we in the same way that it's a we with Jewish people, that it's a we with Asian folk, that it's a we with Arab folk, Armenian folk? Listen, at the end of the day, we can't let tragedy force us together. We got to want to be together.
Proactive.
And we got to work even in good times together. We got to stick together, or else it's going to be up for grabs for whoever can profit and benefit off of our tragedy. So
that's right. And that's the beauty of Altadena. Let me tell you, that's the beauty of Altadena. We got a lot of lawyers, we got a lot of smart people, and we got a lot of hustlers. We got everything covered, baby. We got you. Don't come up with the nah. Don't come up there with that. We're not with that. You will be found out. We're not gullible. This is some intelligent people, and we are gonna come up from this the correct way. Please also hit me. Follow. I'm gonna be posting a attorney's website that I trust. You know, this comes from a very trustful source. If you go to my Instagram at Freez Luv Comedy, FREEZLUV Comedy, you'll see killer whales. You'll see all of that. Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be right there, but I'm gonna post that there. Okay, this comes from a very reliable source, and this is something that we need to have this in our toolbox, because we're in California, man. We're in California, and we're in California in 2025. Understand, this is mind time. Let's put our minds to work with our bodies and our resources, and let's do what we do. We already got it.
One other thing, I'm gonna be in the city Thursday with Tavis Smiley, KBLA, Dominique DePrima. We're broadcasting on Lincoln in Altadena. I forgot the name of the place, but I'll be posting that on my Instagram as well. I'm gonna be there. We're gonna be, talking to the community. We're partnering with some nonprofit organizations to put money in the pockets of the people that have been most affected. So we're gonna be there Thursday. I'm gonna be there like 7 a.m., 7 to 9 a.m. broadcasting with Dominique DePrima.
Dope, man. I appreciate both of y'all. Follow Freez Luv. We got Zoe. He's still on YouTube, but he's also on KBLA. Catch him nice, catch him twice. And catch Freez Luv throwingapples.com. I'm laughing. That's just funny. I just laughed when I thought about it because it's funny.
That was
Hey man,
fucking
but
great.
you know, half of that special is stories of Altadena. I talk about
Yeah.
my Altadena. I love my Altadena, Pasadena. Nigga, from the Norton Simon Museum to, man, come on, to Eden Canyon, man, to the Eden Canyon Wildlife Museum, man.
Yep.
Henniger Flats. Yeah, come on, man. These are Cheney Trail, man. Don't even try it.
Cheney
This is
Trail.
I love my city, man. We got a lot of love for each other. Our Pasadena brothers and sisters. See, we say Altadena, Pasadena. I've been fortunate enough to be on the world to where nobody knows what you're talking about unless you say LA. You say, I'm from LA. Oh, LA. Okay. They don't know Altadena, Pasadena, LA. Oh, LA. This is Los Angeles County, man. This is LA County, which means we are all affected because all kind of resources will be tapped from all of LA. So we need help from everywhere, man. Yeah, man, from the jungles to the Jordan Downs to the fucking Ladera Heights, Baldwin Hills,
to the Meadows.
To the Meadows, man. One way in, one way out, Meadows, baby. South Altadena, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate both of y'all for coming on, Zoe. I remember we've been talking about it for a long time. It's under these circumstances, but we'll be back on for some more stuff. I have you both back on, man. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for doing it. This was last minute. I just texted him. Zoe hit me back like at 3 a.m. I'm like, yes, I just want to get this done because I want to show. I want to give everyone an opportunity to donate to the GoFundMe's that are in the description. And if you're going around saying, "Oh, is it this? Is it that?" Stay away. This is for people. We want to get money in people's hands right now. Other stuff will happen, but these goals are helping people right now. If you feel a certain way about it, then feel a certain way about it on somebody else's page. But if you want to go through and scan each one of those GoFundMe's, read it, analyze it for yourself, donate to one, donate to them all. But please donate.
Yes.
Thank you again, Zoe. I appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right.
Yeah, that was that felt good for me, man. Shit, you know what I mean? I'm a huge 5150 fan. To see Zoe and Freez together on my show, that was dope as hell. It'd be dope if we could have done this under different circumstances. But hey, things happen and for a reason. And I'm so glad I was able to get those two brothers together here. Kenji, Tay 3. I appreciate everybody. Mike Robertson. I appreciate all y'all. Because I'm going to say I'm from South Central. So my time in Altadena has, for the most part, been business and mostly my adulthood on. I have very few memories of going up that way when I was a child. But as an adult, especially if you run business for yourself, you're going to have to see past it. You're going to have to see Dina if you're in business for yourself as a black person, because so much of they have so much of an economy out there. And for a lot of you who think people just living just broke and black Americans just live these broke, destitute people, you see how beautiful those neighborhoods are. That's because those people work. We don't have just one story. Everything ain't got to be about the hood. And some stuff was the hood, but some stuff, the hood is part of our story. It's a part of our hood, just like the hood is a part of our story, just like the good. And we're here to highlight it all. And I thank y'all for joining. And you can say, I'm not here. Don't buy no t-shirts from me. Don't send nothing to my Cash App. I'm doing this for the love. Whatever dime you got, whether it be a dime or 100,000 dimes, go through the Cash App, do the GoFundMe's in the description and click on them one by one. And you decide where you want to donate. And then donate to one, donate to them all. But please, please, please don't let this 3 hours we spent together be spent in vain. Please, please, please. I'm doing this because people need help. And if you want to penny pinch and watch, well, what they do with my money? I don't want nobody taking my money now and buying new brushes. What do a nigga need his hair combed for with my money? If you that kind of nigga, get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome. I mean, I'm serious. I'm not here to be diplomatic with dickheads like that. If you're looking for something reputable, nigga, hit Google. Go donate to the Red Cross. If you want somewhere that you just feel comfortable, go donate to whoever. If you that type, don't fucking donate over here. Because the last thing I want is, well, DeJuan, I donated 6 months ago, and that person, man, I saw that person you had on, they had on a new Ralph Lauren shirt. What in the hell are they doing buying Ralph Lauren when they could have bought the Target brand with my money? If that's you, fuck out of here, punk. But to everybody else, please, please, please do this because I want, just to help people out. You know what I mean? That's all this is for. This is from my heart. So please do not let this heartfelt gift go in vain and donate to those GoFundMes, all right? Thank y'all again for listening. We'll be back to regular programming. I might do a live from my garage tonight, depending on how I feel. After I finish watching 5150, I might do if I don't do a live from my garage tonight, I will most definitely see y'all tomorrow. All right? Thank y'all again for listening. I appreciate y'all. For my mods, appreciate y'all for modding for me. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody for joining because this is one. I appreciate everybody for listening because this isn't some hot topic that everybody's getting their goofy ass giggles on to and gossip. This is a mature topic. This is for adults. And I got over 700 people in here across platforms between Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. We got over 700 people in here right now. So that goes to show that people really do care. And it goes to show that you don't need a whole bunch of flash in the pan bullshit for folks to listen. And so thank you guys for you guys out there, the mature people on YouTube who can sit through a broadcast that isn't all about a whole bunch of hot news of the day. And that's fun too. I'm going to get to my hot news of the day when I'm done here. I'm sure it'll be some interesting things to see online. But I thank y'all for taking the time out to talk about this very serious matter. All right? You send me the link. And y'all, man, make sure y'all, this is my mob, Bismarck T. I know that he's from that area too. I didn't get to put his in there, but if you, Bismarck T, if you email me your link, I'll put it in the description for after the video. If you just email it to me, info@DeJuanB.com. All right? Thank y'all again for listening. I appreciate y'all. Remember, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. We out.